Okay. Let's see. Okay, now you're live, but I'm gonna check the sound real quick.
We're live right now.
That's what it says. Maybe,
Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna figure this out.
okay, it says you're live. Okay, now you're live, but I'm gonna check the sound real quick. Go ahead and tell us whatever you're gonna do. Or you can give your speech. Action.
We're live, right? Okay, all right. Are we broadcasting on TikTok? Are we good to go?
Yes.
All right, perfect.
You're live on YouTube.
We're good? All right.
real quick. Play that. The tablet, the music.
Good afternoon. Mr. Mall speaking. I can help you. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, start talking.
Is it picking up the audio? All right. This is not another boring podcast. Mustafa, through the police body cam, jailed Carol Weimer under the microscope. I want to thank everybody for being here. We're here at Prince William County Adult Detention Center here, broadcasting the Mustafa Al-Jazari case and what is going on in this file. Now, I want to thank Bustos. I want to thank Becky. I want to thank Missy, Heather, Casey. Thank you for being there. I want to thank East. I want to thank Augie. I want to thank Mary Jo. I want to thank everybody that's joining into this podcast. We're broadcasting on YouTube under Not Another Boring Podcast. We're broadcasting on TikTok under Not Another Boring Podcast. Now, also I want to thank Mohammed, who's going to be joining us in the next couple of minutes. And before we talk about what we're going to talk about, I want to thank the new administration that we have here at this county jail. The superintendent is no longer here, and this jail is under a new administration. Now, the previous superintendent, we have a lot of problems with that superintendent. A lot of abuse went on under his watch. This county jail is under a new leadership, and personally, I have a really good experience with the superintendent. I remember him from the jail board meetings. I personally have a very good experience with him. I want to thank the young correctional officer that is at the front desk. I had a beautiful conversation with her, and I want to thank her for her service. We just got done visiting Mustafa, and it's always difficult visiting Mustafa and coming out of that visit. I want to remind everybody, when you're tuning into these conversations on these podcasts, it's easy to walk away that what we're talking about is a reflection of every police officer, every correctional officer, every sheriff, deputy. Absolutely not. We have, whenever we jump on here, I remind everybody, because it's easy to walk away with that impression, and it's the exact opposite. These badges and uniforms, the majority, serve our community and protect this community. Swear an oath to this community. What we're talking about is specific files. Specific files on specific police officers. I'm not sitting here telling you I'm saying the opposite. I'm telling you I have files on specific police officers that engage in police misconduct. Commonwealth Amy Ashworth sealed that file. Amy Ashworth, the Commonwealth attorney, sealed that file. And unfortunately for her, I have that file and I'm leaking it all over the internet. And we're having a conversation. What is going on in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case? Because she tells you that Mustafa did this on purpose, that this is not a vehicle accident. That Mustafa unalived his girlfriend, unalived the 5-year-old baby. And what she's not telling you and what she's hiding from you is the dash camera inside the vehicle. And you ask yourself, why is this Commonwealth attorney hiding the most crucial piece of evidence from this community?
Because
Well,
she lied.
Unfortunately for her, I have this dash camera and I've leaked it on the internet. And that dash camera shows that this Commonwealth attorney lied in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. This is a vehicle accident. Mustafa did everything he can to avoid a vehicle accident. Commonwealth Amy Ashworth like to tell you that Mustafa was arguing with his girlfriend inside the vehicle. Now explain to me. When I watch this dash camera, I see that Mustafa and his girlfriend are passing back and forth a cigarette 6 times.
Not only that, but they actually told the medical examiner he ruled this death a homicide because he says that the officer told him that she was protesting as this whole thing was happening. The brother gets on live television, national television, and he says, my sister was on the phone with one of her friends as this whole thing was happening. We know that's a lie, but it's one thing to lie on MSNBC. It's another thing for the medical examiner to rule this as a homicide simply because he claims that the dash cam is going to show that Dorothy was on the phone. And 2.5 years later, you can't verify that. I can't verify that. Nobody can verify this. But because you stole the file, we can get on this dash cam and see that Dorothy was not on the phone. They were not arguing. That it's all a lie. And for a medical examiner, Gene Maya, that's his name, Gene Maya, that's the medical examiner that ruled this as a homicide because Dorothy was allegedly protesting. That's a lie.
He put that in the medical. I mean, it's one thing for you. You know what you're saying right here is a giant claim. And you know how easy to dismiss this conversation? If you sit here and you say that without having the copy of the medical examiner.
We have the copy of the medical examiner report. We have the dash cam. Okay? It's not adding up. It's not matching. What he's saying is not matching with the facts.
Now, you've got, and this is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about the medical examiner, the fabricated medical examiner. I mean, in the medical examiner, they wrote that Dorothy was protesting. Now, why is it when I open this dash camera, I'm watching this dash camera, what the hell are you talking about? Writing in the medical examiner that Dorothy is protesting. When you watch the dash camera, you see that Mustafa and Dorothy are passing back and forth a cigarette 6 times.
So for a medical examiner to lie on an official document that they've sealed from the community, they've sealed it from Mustafa, they've sealed it from his lawyers. Did they think that they were going to get away with it?
I mean, of course, 100% they thought they can get away with it because the last time, I mean, think about what's happening here. Think about the optics. You don't have access to this file. The community doesn't have access to this file.
It's going to come out during trial.
This is a sealed file.
It's going to come out during trial. Mustafa's lawyer, Mustafa, his defense, nobody could say, wait a second, let's look at the dash cam because the prosecutor has already
conditionally bringing in the dash camera.
She tried to conditionally admit the dash cam, which means she only wants to play 4 seconds out of the whole entire dash cam. She wants to use the medical examiner report to tell the jury, ladies and gentlemen, Dorothy was protesting as this whole thing was happening. We're not going to show you where she's protesting, but we have a medical examiner report. Who are you going to trust?
So an expert gets on the stand with a fabricated medical examiner report.
And people are going to say, you telling me that the medical examiner lied? Yes. I mean, I can sit here today and say, yes, the medical examiner flat out lied. Okay, now, if you corner this medical examiner, Gene Maya, and you ask him, why did you put that in your report? Why did you put in that this is a homicide because Dorothy was protesting? He's gonna throw it back to the officer. He's gonna say, well, according to the reports from Robert Drum, they're saying that the police are saying she was protesting. I didn't see the dash camera. I'm just going simply off of the reports, which in this case are falsified. So you see the lie has already gone through multiple steps, okay? And by the time you question, why are you putting this in the report, everyone's going to throw it back up the chain, okay? He's going to throw it to the officer is going to throw it back to internal affairs is going to say, well, we attempted to fix it, but apparently it's already gone down the pipeline so far that, you know, who cares? They just want to roll with it.
So we're going to talk about the medical examiner report. We're going to talk about the children being weaponized before the police put them in a forensic interview. Now, it's a giant claim to say the police weaponized the children. What are you talking about? Dorothy has a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old that loved Mustafa. How do you know they love Mustafa? I have the Google Nest video inside the apartment. Now, why is it when I open the forensic interview, I have the video of the forensic interview, Javen, the 14-year-old child, is talking about the police weaponizing him. I have the forensic interview. We're going to go through that forensic interview.
I mean, the real problem here, now, I want to stop you for a second. The real problem here is you can see from these body cams that within the first 20 minutes after the accident happened, you have Officer Casey Fines with his little notebook, and he's telling another officer, he says, hey, I got it. I got his name, I got the girlfriend's name, I got the children's names. So the real question is, this mother had passed that day. Why was the father not contacted?
I mean, wait until you find out that there is a body cam, there's a phone call in Mustafa's file where the father, Divine Jones, is begging the police to be next to his children.
Let's slow down a little bit. Look,
they're pushing him away. They refuse to have him be next to the children.
Why is it in the hospital that Fairfax Hospital says this little girl is Jane Doe? They don't have a first name. They don't have a last name. They don't have any information on her. Yet we see Casey Fines in the first 20 minutes after the accident. He's already identified her mom, the family. And you're telling me that at the hospital for multiple days, they have the girl as Jane Doe? Why don't the police want this dad to be at his daughter's bedside? If she's in the ICU at Fairfax Hospital, why did they not contact this girl's legal guardian, her father? Why did they not contact? I mean, clearly the police were talking to him, but why did they not give him custody of his child while she was in the hospital? So why not? She's Jane Doe for multiple days, according to reports.
You've got two things happening in the hospital.
I called the hospital that night. And you know what they told me? They said, we don't have any information on this girl. How is that so when Casey Fines specifically on body cam, within the first 20 minutes after the accident, he has her name, her mom. They have all this information on her. And by the way, Dorothy and Divine, her ex-husband, they're in the system. You know, they've had domestic issues. So they're pretty known to police. Okay,
so you've got a situation.
Officer Duplessis knows exactly whose family that is.
We have a body cam where they already identify Mustafa, his girlfriend Dorothy, and the children.
Why did they not give that information to the hospital?
You've got a situation where you've got Mustafa begging to be next to Empress. You've got the father, Divine Jones, the ex-husband, begging to be next to his kids. And both individuals are being pushed away. And then when you find out that they're actively... We're going to go through what they're doing to Empress inside the hospital.
The police had an agenda that they wanted to checkmark before giving those kids back to Divine. Okay, they had an agenda, and that was to weaponize these children. I mean, they don't care about the well-being of Empress. They don't care about... And I'm not saying it because I'm saying the police are bad people. It's clear that when a child is in the ICU on her last breath, and you're not telling the dad... come see your child, okay? There's 3 other kids. You're not telling the dad, hey, your kids are here, come get them. No, they leave them with the ex-boyfriend, with Glenn Ford and Tanisha Coleman, because they want them to be weaponized. They're actively abusing these children so that they can, in the hopes that they're going to say something negative about Mustafa, and they're here to record it.
You've got the ex-boyfriend, Glenn Ford, who took picture. What did Imagine in the forensic interview say in his forensic interview? And we have the interview, and it's posted on the internet. What did Imagine say, 10-year-old Imagine? He said, Glenn Ford took a picture of my 5-year-old baby, and he's showing it to us. I mean, so you're talking about a 40-year-old man, the ex-boyfriend, Glenn Ford, goes into the hospital, takes a picture of the condition that Empress is in, and is going around showing a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old. This is what Mustafa did to your sister.
By the way, against hospital advice.
While they're weaponizing the children?
Against hospital advice. The hospital said to Glenn Ford and Tanisha Coleman at the hospital, they said, we don't want these kids going in looking at their sister like that. So what does Glenn Ford do? He takes a picture of it to show these kids, look at what Mustafa did to your sister. And then he's going to put out this narrative. And by the way, like, Glenn Ford is not acting alone, okay? Because this guy has already admitted that he was sleeping with the 16-year-old. He was drugging this 16-year-old, okay?
You're talking about Kylie Clapp.
Kylie Clapp. He was sleeping with her. He was drugging her. And the police, till this day, are pretending like
no, that's
this never
a
happened.
Giant claim.
By the way, these words are coming out of his mouth.
That's a giant claim. If you didn't have an audio on a recorded line, he's saying that.
You have an active pedo that the police and Amy Ashworth are ignoring, that he committed crimes against children, specifically against Kylie Clapp. He admitted to it.
No, Mohammed, I have a phone call in the file, where Investigator Romero and is talking to the ex-husband, the father of 5-year-old Empress. And you've got that father begging Officer Romero to be next to his children, and he's actively pushing him away. He's blocking every effort for that father to be next to his the last moment where next to his 5-year-old baby.
They have no right.
And the question is, who made the decision? Because according to the hospital record, I have the hospital documents, 5-year-old Empress was stable. Who made the decision to actually unplug her? How could you unplug 5-year-old Empress without
consulting the father?
Without consulting. As a matter of fact, going to the extent that you're blocking the father from being there. Who made the decision to bring in the children into the forensic? How could you bring in the children into the forensic unit without talking to the without talking to the parents? And then when you find out that they're actually actively weaponizing the children, and you're blocking that father away from being next to his children because you're weaponizing the children. I mean, we're going to go through this phone call, and what you're going to hear is the conversation between Investigator Romero, the one that handled the children, weaponized the children, and then you're going to ask yourself, there must be body cams. I mean, you're dealing as a police officer, Investigator Romero, there has to be body cams. Investigator Romero, when you talk to 9-year-old Pharaoh, when you talk to 10-year-old Imagine, when you talk to 14-year-old Javen, before you put Kylie, before you put them in the forensic interview, and when you find out that the file is missing the most crucial pieces of evidence. Why is it crucial? Because the children inside the forensic interview, I have those videos I have, it's in the file. The children are talking about. They weaponize the children. One of the children
lied to them about the facts of what's going on.
The material fact, they told them that Mustafa did this on purpose. They told them that Mustafa fled the scene, ran away, left your 5-year-old baby sister to bleed to death.
Crashing the car.
And they're telling the children that Mustafa fled the scene, left your 5-year-old baby sister to bleed to death. When Mustafa was in a coma, Mustafa was helicoptered to the hospital, and we have the body cam to show it. So why are you telling the children that Mustafa left your 5-year-old baby sister?
And he was released from the hospital.
You're weaponizing
by
the children.
The police.
The child says, I trusted Mustafa. Mom always told me to trust Mustafa. But after what investigator told me, such and such and such, I don't trust Mustafa.
That doesn't sound like an abusive relationship. When the child is telling you that mom always told me to trust Mustafa.
He's giving you insight into
the kind of relationship they had.
That's the kind. And then when you open the Google Nest videos inside the apartment, you see it's a beautiful relationship. The police got involved, weaponized the children, and now here we are in this situation where the file is sealed. You can't verify any of it. Well, unfortunately for Amy Ashworth, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth. We can get to the bottom of what went on in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. And when we make the claim that your police department weaponized the children, we have the material facts in this case. Now, we're going to listen to the phone call between Divine, the ex-husband, the father of the children, Divine Jones, and investigator Romero. And
I mean, it shouldn't be such a difficult question to ask. What kind of communication did the police have with these children prior to that forensic interview? We know that the police spoke to the kids prior because the interviewer is telling them, remember the verbiage that we talked about, certain keywords that we're going to use in this interview? Remember what the detectives told you? Okay, so we know there's an interview with the children prior to the official forensic interview. Police were talking to these kids prior. Romero in this conversation is going to tell us that he likes to record all of his conversations. Okay? In the discovery report, in the police reports, we see that Romero is being praised by the prosecutor. Sarah Sammy specifically says Romero did an outstanding job with the children, talking to the children. So in the forensic interview, it's a woman that's interviewing these kids. So where are the body cams when Romero is weaponizing these children, when he's actively abusing these children by putting dirty thoughts in their mind about the material facts of what's going on? I mean, we know they told Dorothy's half-brother that your sister was on the phone. We have a dash cam. Your sister was on the phone calling for help as this whole thing was happening. You think Derek came out on the media and just made that up? I don't think so, because the medical examiner is saying the same thing. So we know that's a narrative that was put out by the police. The police are telling the half-brother that. The police are reporting to the medical examiner that this passenger was protesting as the accident was happening. These are all lies. We're going to go through this call. We've seen the dash camera. We know it's a lie. The real question is,
we're going to go through the dash camera. We're going to go through the medical examiner report. And
the real question is, how can a medical examiner who's in an official office, medical examiner, okay, based on this medical examiner, is going to decide which way this case goes? And he ruled it as a double homicide because he's claiming that Dorothy was on the phone. We've all seen the dash camera. Dorothy was never on the phone.
Literally, you're passing, Mustafa and Dorothy are passing back and forth a cigarette, not once, not twice, 6 times.
As a matter of fact, Mustafa's data from his phone, Dorothy's data from her phone, it's going to show what app was being utilized. Okay? And the prosecutor took the phone data, put it in a separate file so that when the lawyer is asking for the discovery, it's not part of the discovery.
What is the one thing Mustafa was scheduled for court back in December. What is the one thing that they didn't want to come into this trial?
The phone data.
The phone data. I wonder why, Prosecutor Sarah Sammy, you don't want the phone data to be part of the trial.
And Mustafa's lawyer tells him, oh, I thought the other lawyer was going to go through it. Oh, I didn't go through it. The other lawyer didn't go through it. She dropped the ball, man.
Wait a minute. You're talking about...
but I'm ready for a trial. I'm ready for... How are you ready for a trial when you didn't even examine his phone data? And to say that it's over 1 terabyte, Mustafa's iPhone can only carry 64 gigabytes of memory. To say it's 1 terabyte, that's like almost... You've got Mustafa
for the past 2.5 years screaming from solitary confinement.
For someone to go through his phone.
Can you go through my phone? And then the prosecutor tell you we're not gonna have the phone part of the trial.
He's begging for someone.
Isn't it supposed to be the other way around?
Exactly. If you have something wrong, you would be scared of anybody going through your phone. If you did something wrong, you would be terrified that somebody is gonna go through your dash camera. If you did something wrong, you're going to be terrified that someone's going to examine your car. But in this case, you have a defendant who's begging, literally begging.
I usually record all my...
Literally begging for someone to say, he's saying, examine my dash camera. I want all the files from my dash camera. They're missing. I want someone to go through my phone, go through my text messages, go through the metadata. I want someone to go through this phone thoroughly. And I want someone to examine my car. That's coming from the defendant, and the prosecutor is saying, nope, we're not going to go through it. I mean, the lawyer literally has to go to court and sue for the evidence. He has to go to court and ask a judge, telling a judge, Your Honor, the prosecutor is not allowing me to go through my client's evidence. Why not? We already know Chad Mason tampered with the dash cam. What are they so afraid of?
When you say he tampered with the evidence, didn't he get on the stand?
He got on the stand
during a motion to dismiss, and he admitted to plugging the SD card and that dash camera into his personal laptop?
Into his laptop.
I mean, isn't there a chain of custody for evidence? And you've got this investigator handling Mustafa's dash camera, plugging the SD card into his personal laptop, and today the dash camera doesn't have audio. It cuts off before impact. There are 17 frames missing from the camera facing inward.
Think about this dash camera, okay? This dash camera is on continuous recording, okay? It records inside and outside. It's got a 64 gigabyte SD card. And this officer plugged that. Just think about this. While Mustafa was in the hospital, okay, while he's in a coma, this officer takes this dash cam. He doesn't admit it into evidence and allows the police department to go through their process of dealing with digital evidence. No, he doesn't do that. He takes this dash cam, plugs it into his laptop. He's going through the files literally one at a time, okay? And he's picking and choosing which file he's going to upload to evidence.com. And once he's doing that, he's tampering with these files that now somehow miraculously the prosecutor in court says there's no audio to it. We want to say he's arguing, but there's no audio.
Wait a minute. Doesn't Officer Zymus in the internal files of this case admit that there is audio to this dash camera?
She says there's audio to it, that the audio capability is turned on, and that the audio, the files she opened did have an audio track. Okay? Now, Chad Mason had already gone through these files, and he selected which files he want to be part of this case, even though the warrant was for all the videos. The warrant that they wrote up, that a magistrate signed, was for all the videos of April 5th. But Chad Mason is acting on his own. He says, no, I'm not going to follow the warrant. I'm not going to follow my police department's policy and procedure with regards to digital evidence. I'm going to pick and choose which files, and he's going to tamper with it. He's going to remove the audio. He's going to cut the video before impact, and he wants to push that through. And now you have a prosecutor that is terrified of someone going in and looking at this SD card, this dash camera. They're terrified because what is it going to show? I mean, for 2.5 years, they've been telling this community that there's no audio to this camera.
Commonwealth Amy Ashworth issued out a statement on NBC4, and Julie Kerr ran with it that this dash camera doesn't have audio. But her internal notes admit that Officer Zymus, her police officer, admit that this dash camera does have audio. But here's the deal. You're not supposed to find out. I'm not supposed to find out. This community doesn't have access to this file. Well, here we do. Now we do. We have access, and we have a document where Officer Zymus admit that this dash camera does have audio.
Let me tell you what I think is happening.
So why the hell is she hiring a lip reader?
Let me tell you what I think is happening. Chad Mason knows there's audio on this camera. Robert Drum 100% knows there's audio on this dash camera. And I'll tell you why I know Robert Drum knows there's audio is because there's a body cam where he's calling Rexing, the dash cam company, and he never questions Rexing technical support about why there is no audio. His primary concern with this dash cam is why is the speed stuck on 77 miles per hour?
There's a body cam where he's having this conversation.
And then he says to them, why is the geolocation not accurate on this dash cam? He never says, why does this dash camera cut off before impact? That's number one. And he never asks technical support, why is there no audio? So we know for a fact, Robert Drum never questioned Rexing about the audio, which tells you that they know there's audio. Their plan is to conceal it. Their plan is to push back whenever Mustafa...
But wait a minute. The only thing he's asking for and he's concerned for is he's asking the Rexing company, he's asking them, is it possible that you can access this dash camera on the cloud?
On the cloud.
That's the one thing he wanted to find out.
That's what he wanted to find out? That's what...
I wonder why he's terrified that someone is going to access this dash camera through the clouds.
Because, look, they believe their evidence.com server is so secure that nobody is going to get into it. Nobody is going to get this dash camera. She's already gotten a judge order to seal it off from the defendant, from the community, from anybody. I mean, who's going to question an officer when he says, there's no audio? Take my word for it. I mean, as a United States citizen, you have the right to due process.
He's terrified.
To examine evidence.
He's terrified that the family on the outside might actually access this dash camera. And so when they cut this dash camera, when they mute this dash camera, can we make sure that no one has access to this dash camera through the cloud? Now,
and the prosecutor has, think about it like this. The prosecutor has already, she's already gone past the line of no return, okay? Because she's gone out, she's hired a lip reader. She's already said it in court on the record, Your Honor, there's no audio to this dash cam. They've already, they've already crossed the line of no return. For them to come out now and say, oh, we hired an IT expert and we did find audio and there's no argument between Mustafa and Dorothy. I mean, that's going to flip their case upside down, okay? And they can't do that. So what can they do at this point to save themselves from the lie that they've already put out? They can block Mustafa's defense from accessing this SD card.
Isn't that what she's doing right now?
And that's what she's doing right now.
Is it on the 22nd that he's filing a motion to inspect the SD cards?
I mean, the lawyer has to file a motion. He has to fight tooth and nail just to examine the SD card that Chad Mason has already admitted he's tampered with.
What did she tell the lawyer? I don't want to run into a situation where the SD card is compromised. What are you talking about? Your investigator got on the stand during a motion to dismiss Chad Mason. He admitted to plugging the SD card into his
violating department policy.
Personal cell phone, personal laptop.
He says, I violated department policy.
And now we got this prosecutor. So, I don't want anybody to examine this SD card.
Bullshit.
Maybe it's gonna compromise it. Your investigator
has already compromised it. Okay, now we're sitting here trying to clean up the mess of Chad Mason.
You know what she's terrified from? That the lawyer is going to hire this independent expert that's going to go in, look at the SD card, and you can tell by downloading the metadata if this SD card was tampered with.
Of course. I mean, they're going to go through, and I guarantee you, once someone examines this SD card, they examine this car, this whole case is going to just disintegrate on its own.
Now, Mohammed, I want to play a phone call where Investigator Romero, the individual that handled the children with the forensic unit, says, I record everything. And the question is, Investigator Romero, you are with the children forensic unit.
He deals with children.
You deal with children. You dealt with 9-year-old Pharaoh, Dorothy's child, 10-year-old Imagine, and 14-year-old Javen, and then 16-year-old Kylie. Now, where are the body cams in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case when you handled the children before you walked them into a forensic interview? We know from what you're telling us that you record everything. Let's listen to Romero tell us that he records everything. Because when I access the Mustafa Al-Jazari case in the secured server for the police department, with the help of certain individual, I've got access. I'm willy-nilly entering the server. Now, I've gotten Mustafa's file. I'm leaking Mustafa's file. I have other files that I'm leaking. And when I access Mustafa's file, those body cams does not exist.
It's not that they don't exist.
Oh, they definitely do exist. They just didn't put them on the server.
Just like that one body cam that we were pushing so hard for.
You're talking about Andy Margiotta, the first police officer.
Andrew Margiotta, the DC officer that said in his statement that he activated his body cam. He was the first on the scene. And that body cam was nowhere to be found for 2.5 years. It's nowhere to be found.
But there is a document where the officer put in his statement that I have my body cam on, and it's recorded, and I uploaded it into evidence.com.
By the way,
it's just that body cam is not in evidence.com until you tell the lawyer, the new lawyer, and he pushes back to Commonwealth Amy Ashworth. He tells her, ma'am, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, I have a statement from Andy Margiotta where he interacted with Dorothy. Dorothy is alive. This is the most crucial piece of evidence in this whole entire case. Where is this body cam? Because it's not in evidence.com. All of a sudden, this body cam materialized.
After pushback.
All of a sudden, she gives him the body cam.
She tells the lawyer that it's in evidence.com. She says it's in there. It's in there. Well, let's put it like this. Blake Weiner couldn't find it. Elaine Jarvis couldn't find it. You couldn't find it. This lawyer couldn't find it. All of a sudden, because the lawyer is pushing back so hard on it, okay, and we're sitting here saying, if this body cam is not in evidence.com, then someone at the police department is actively entering evidence.com, and there is a log of who's going into evidence.com, and we're saying someone is actively entering this platform for the police, a secure server, and is actively deleting body cams. Well, what do you know? Sarah Sammy all of a sudden comes out of nowhere and emails that video, that body cam that was apparently missing. She emails the video to him, which tells you there is a hidden file in Mustafa's case that the only way you're going to get it is if you push back on it or if you sue this county into opening this hidden file. And this hidden file, I guarantee you, it's going to have Robert Drum's recording with Mustafa that is nowhere to be found on evidence.com. Andrew Margiotta, that she just emailed the lawyer, Romero's body cams, Kylie's conversations with the police prior to the forensic interview. And I'm talking about Kylie's interview back in April of 2023. When they first interviewed her, they removed that video. And they redid her interview
In September
of 2023.
2023.
So they redid the interview with an alleged witness because her first interview didn't sound so good to the prosecutor. You know, because I think in her first interview, she has disqualified herself as a witness. When she tells the prosecutor, I blocked my mom on the cell phone. There's a no contact order between us. And I don't live at the apartment. And I don't know Mustafa.
What do you mean?
And I wasn't with my mom.
Now we've got a forensic interview in the file where the prosecutor is terrified that anybody's going to look at. Even the September interview, they're terrified. In the forensic interview, Kylie would say that this is premeditated and then turn around and tell you, I wasn't there, I didn't hear it. I got it from somebody else. You open that body cam, that person tell you, I got it from somebody else. And then you open the third body cam, that person tell you, yeah, I got it from... They're playing a game of ping pong. No one is claiming that they were actually witnesses.
And I almost forgot.
They're manufacturing probable cause in this whole entire case.
And I almost
Amy
forgot,
Ashworth knows that. That's why she sealed the body cams.
Officer Cruz's
you're
body
building
cam.
You're building a whole entire case on manufactured probable cause. Your witnesses are telling you we were not there.
Exactly. And I almost forgot. Cruz's body cam. We see that Officer Cruz, while they're doing Mustafa's car inspection, he was holding up his body cam up against the car, recording the brake line like Investigator Davis told him to record the brake line from the beginning all the way to the caliper. That video is missing. So we know there's a hidden file.
I'll tell you something that's interesting. When you're on Davis's body cam and they're talking about the motor mount broken and that the Cruz body cam captured it, no wonder that body cam is missing, because that goes into what happened in the brake failure in Mustafa's vehicle.
I mean, they're terrified anybody's going to look underneath that car. They're terrified.
What do you think happens? What do you think happens when you're driving 55 miles an hour and all of a sudden you hit the brake? The engine is going to shift forward. What's right there in front of the engine? Oh, the brake ABS module. Oh, and now you're talking about a police inspection on a body cam where two calipers did not work when Mustafa's trying to stop the vehicle.
And now one of the body cams is missing.
From that body cam.
From the inspection. And they don't allow the independent expert to examine the car.
They're so terrified. That the prosecutor is terrified, and on body cam is blocking an independent expert to reconstruct this vehicle.
You know what's really funny?
Isn't it supposed to be the other way around?
It's supposed to be the other way around. You know what's really funny is that when the new lawyer comes onto the case, the prosecutor wants to tell him that she wants to get to the truth of this case. She wants to be open with him, open communication, that if there is something that he needs, that they're going to help him find it.
What do you mean? The lawyer is talking about, I scheduled 5 appointments to sit down with the prosecutor, and every single time she cancels it on the last second, I have to file in court and fight my way to get to the SD card and download the metadata, hire an independent expert, and get to the bottom. Where is the audio? Because your internal notes, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, the
Says
police
there's
department admit there's audio. And now the lawyer has to fight his way to get to the SD cards?
I mean, I find it fascinating that a Commonwealth attorney is going to go to a lip reader. She's going to go to a lip... Think about it like this. When digital forensics is telling this Commonwealth attorney that there is audio on this dash camera, I find it fascinating that Amy Ashworth doesn't go out and hire an IT expert to come examine this dash camera. She doesn't hire someone that is proficient in technology to come in and say, well, digital forensics is telling me there's audio on this
Especially when
case.
your police officer is telling you there's audio.
They're telling her there's audio on this case, okay? She doesn't come out and say, I'm going to hire a lip reader. We're going to get to the bottom of this, okay? She doesn't do that. She goes out to hire a lip reader, which is, by the way, lip readers in criminal trials, they're very questionable. Like, it's not really...
I mean, you get five lip reader. All five are going to tell you 5 different things.
You're going to get 5 different answers. So a lip reader...
Especially when you're entering this dash camera conditionally, which you're taking it out of context, no longer that you're looking at the full dash camera, because literally, if you look at what's happening here, the lip reader is telling you at this moment, Dorothy says, I want to get out of the car. But then literally, if you rewind the dash camera, literally 30 seconds, Mustafa and Dorothy are passing back and forth a cigarette.
She's coming into
literally
this.
rewind it one more time, another 30 seconds, they're passing back back and forth a cigarette. Fast forward this 45 seconds. They passed a cigarette back and forth 6 times. You want to tell me all of a sudden Dorothy said, I want to get out of the car, and then all of a sudden takes that cigarette. There you go, honey.
It over.
I mean, are you fucking kidding me here? Unless the only way you can get away with this is if you enter the dash camera conditionally, where the jury doesn't get to see the whole thing. That you're gonna bring in this bullshit lip reader, put him on the stand, and tell the jury, well, this is what Dorothy says.
By the
you're
way,
taking the dash camera out of context.
I'll tell you this: there are 708 pages in that police report. 708. Not a single page. Not a single page says in black and white that this dash cam did not capture audio. The only time you hear anything about missing audio from this dash cam is right there in that building behind you, in the courthouse. That's the only time that you see a mention of a missing audio from this dash cam, that it didn't capture audio. The only place you see that is in the courtroom. But Robert Drum's statement in his police report, he says, Dorothy began screaming.
What do you mean? Don't you have a body cam where he's talking and he says he heard the content of what's going on inside the vehicle?
Look, Robert Drum stated in his report that Dorothy began screaming. Now, screaming is an audio. That's part of the audio. He doesn't say anywhere in his report that while watching this dash cam, I mean, this is a significant piece of information. The whole entire case is built on the prosecutor's narrative saying that Mustafa was in an argument, and because he was angry, he decided to crash the car. That's what the prosecutor says. You're telling me that a 20-year investigator who's watching a dash camera never puts that in his report? He never says that I'm looking at a dash cam without audio? And number two, you're telling me that while him and Chad Mason were going through this dash cam, they didn't have their body cam recording? I mean, he had his body cam recording when he was calling Rexing. He had his body cam recording when he was talking to Mustafa. He had his body cam on when he was talking to Kylie, to Amy Hodson, to Tanisha Coleman, to Glenn Ford. And you're telling me you're sitting there, 2 officers that are 40 years of experience combined, and both of them are sitting there violating department policy, and neither one of them thought, hey, I'm going through this dash cam. Let me turn on my body cam.
Well, they were hoping that you would never find out that they're botching up the whole case and falsifying the whole entire thing. I want to go over to.
I bet you there is a body cam.
Of course there is.
With them going through this dash cam.
Okay, I'll
throw
you a curveball here. When you go through the file, in Robert Drum's statement, he says, I recorded the conversation between me and Mustafa on my body-worn camera.
And that was confirmed by
First Sergeant Sean Shelton.
Sean Shelton.
Now, that's in the discovery. That's a document. Where is that body cam?
Why is it not in the evidence.com file?
That's interesting.
Which only leads you to believe that there is a hidden file in this case that the prosecutors are not going to release unless you get a really good lawyer who's paying attention to the details, and he's going to tell the prosecutor, I want all the exculpatory files on this case. Not some, okay? I mean, she's trying to, she's tricking him by sending him Andrew Margiotta. Oh, I have it. Here it is. Here it is. She's giving him the standalone file. I think this prosecutor needs to reevaluate her options, okay? And I'll say that the truth will set you free, okay? As a prosecutor, your job is to seek the truth. That's your job, okay? It's not to cover up for the officer. It's not to cover up for the lie. We know you made a mistake. You've crossed the line of no return with regards to lies, okay? And I think the only thing that's going to save her in this case is if she tells the truth.
Mohammed, I want to play a phone call of Romero talking about that he records everything, which goes to the foundation of what we're talking about. Romero records everything. Where are the body cams when you handled the children before you walked them into the forensic interview? Why does evidence.com have the forensic interview video, but not the body cams before you walked them into this forensic interview? Okay, let's listen to Romero introduce himself and talk about that he records everything.
I usually record all my conversations. It's just when I write reports. It helps me remember everything we talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you hear what he just said?
Go back a little bit.
I'm going to go. This is a phone call between Romero, Officer Romero, and Derek, the half-brother of Dorothy.
I usually record all my conversations. It's just when I write reports, it helps me remember everything we talk about.
Interesting.
First off, again, I want to stress that, I'm sorry that we're meeting under these circumstances. I know that you've been through a lot in the last 48 hours. Okay, so we're going to do everything we can to kind of make everything go as smoothly as possible and help out your nephews and you as well. Did you want to go through your stuff?
Yeah.
You already.
Okay, so this is Romero talking about that he records everything. I want to jump into a phone call between the ex-husband, Divine Jones, and investigator Romero.
I'll be back. I'm going to confirm the audio.
Yeah, this is about a 18-minute phone call between investigator Romero and the ex-husband, Divine Jones. Now, the question, when you listen to this phone call, you see the father is begging to be next to the last moments of his 5-year-old baby. I mean, what was happening to Empress while this phone call was happening? 5-year-old Empress was fighting for her life at the last moment, and this father is begging to be next to his 5-year-old baby. And then when you find out that the rest of the children are being weaponized by investigator Romero, what does that mean? You've got a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old being lied to about Mustafa, who was a father role in their life. They're telling the children that Mustafa is Mustafa is peeing on your mother, that Mustafa had ran. I mean, listen to what I'm talking about. They're telling those children, a 9, a 10, a 14, that Mustafa pees on your mother. That Mustafa ran away, left your 5-year-old baby to bleed to death. We could have saved her if it wasn't for Mustafa, if it wasn't for him running away. And they go as far as tell the children that Mustafa unalived your mother on purpose, unalived your 5-year-old baby on purpose. Those are children. And then when you watch the body cam, Mustafa was in and out of consciousness. Mustafa at one point went into a coma. Mustafa was helicoptered to the hospital. What are you talking about? that Mustafa ran it. Why? I mean, and then when you find out that the children in the forensic interview, the video forensic interview, 14-year-old Javen, what did 14-year-old Javen say? Mom always told me to trust Mustafa. I always trusted Mustafa. Now, we have a Google Nest video inside the apartment. You can clearly see it's a beautiful relationship. What happened when investigator Romero got involved? We're going to find out. These are giant claims. When I tell you that the children have been weaponized, I have the video of the forensic interview. We're going to listen to the phone call between ex-husband Divine Jones begging Officer Romero to be next to his children. And he's actively blocking him from being there. Now, when you walk children into a forensic interview, you need parental consent. And that father is being pushed away because the children are being weaponized against Mustafa. When you finally unplug 5-year-old Empress inside the hospital, you need... I mean, who made the decision to finally unplug 5-year-old Empress, who, according to the hospital record, she was stable? But you're actively pushing that father away and you're making these decisions? Is this why the file is sealed? We're going to get to the bottom of it. Let's listen to Divine Jones beg Officer Romero to be next to his children. It's an 18-minute phone call, and we'll continue to have this conversation.
Good afternoon. Mr. Moll speaking. I can help you. Yes, sir.
That's Divine.
Continue to have this conversation.
Yeah. To be honest with you, Mr. Fontaine, the concern is our understanding that you have some outstanding warrants. That's our understanding, yes, sir, that you have some outstanding warrants. So what would happen? Prince William County?
The warrants are out of Fairfax.
Fairfax County. You have outstanding warrants in Fairfax County. So what would happen to... We do, so that's what you...
I can explain to you.
Yeah, sir. I'm going to give you to a detective that's here at the agency right now. Yes, sir. And you can use my phone.
Hey, sir, this is Detective Romero with Prince William County. How are you?
How you doing, Detective?
Good. Look, and I'm just gonna keep it straight with you. I'm not here to BS or anything, but yeah, with their investigation, we checked your name to figure out this whole protective order situation, and then that's where I was informed that you have a outstanding capias from Fairfax County. In reference
For what?
In reference to a protection order violation.
That's the same shit.
Look, man. I know. Don't shoot the messenger, man. This is information I'm getting from our dispatch, and I can confirm again with them. But I don't know if there was a court date that you missed or
No, it
some
wasn't
other.
because I never got served. I never got arrested or anything.
Okay.
The last one we went to, she sat in the car like she always do.
Right.
She never goes to it. She does it for control, to keep me locked up so that she can control the situation. And the magistrate last time, I was telling the caseworker on Mr. Moll, the last time even the magistrate said stop giving those charges to him. They said she's been doing this for 12 years, made it from Fredericksburg all the way up Prince William and Fairfax.
Right.
I have never put my hands on her. And y'all have even arrested her for assaulting me in front of you. And I still was like, nah, don't even press the charges.
Right.
It was control, man. And this is just... I'm just tired of this stuff, man, because it's like people posted in positions of judgment and, social duties and civil duties, but it's like no one uses common sense. Why is she catching cases with all her boyfriends, but And then the children will verify that they have seen her hit me a million times, and I've
Right.
never hit her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is control, man. She go in there with her tears, and I don't even go. Because guess what? I have to work because it was 8 of us.
No, I hear everything you're saying. Again, I mean, I don't know the specifics of what happened in Fairfax. I'm obviously down here in Prince William County, but that's simply where we're at right now.
Okay. Let me get in touch with Fairfax.
So my recommendation is squaring away that paperwork with Fairfax,
Yeah.
and then kind of just go from there. I mean, I don't know what I've never met you. I don't know what your criminal record looks like. I mean, hopefully you can get like a bond or something like that, or PR.
It all depends on the magistrate.
But yeah, it depends. Yeah, it's going to depend on the magistrate. You're right. But I'm just keeping it honest with you. That's just kind of where we're at. Because of course you probably know that if you were to say show up in Prince William County and I see you, I have to arrest you.
I understand.
Right.
I understand, sir. I mean, if you other Prince William officers will tell you, she's done this a million times, and she's even did it to the point where she went and took him out, and then came and found what hotel I was in, and then called the police and said he's at this hotel.
Right.
And they saw all that, and they was like, "Wow." She told me, "Yeah, I was driving up the street and saw him."
Mm-hmm.
And this is. I'm tired of it, man.
Yeah. So
I've done everything I was supposed to do in life with her, man. And
no, I get it. It's frustrating, and that it sounds to me like you've been through a lot, and that you're pissed off about it, and I completely understand that. But yeah, best way to address it, you probably should just get that paperwork with Fairfax squared away. Turn yourself in, whatever you got to do, and they give you a court date.
That's what every time I find out, or if most time they'll call me.
Yeah.
But my new number ain't on file up there. That's right.
Okay.
Because most time they'll call me and be like, "Divine, you got another violation."
Yeah.
Because this was the thing. The violation is I'm supposed to have no contact with her, right? But my children, especially my daughter, it's 5. So I bought them all phones, all tablets, all Nintendo Switches, so that I could communicate directly with them. She goes in, changes the code, and blocks me from all their accounts and social media. So I gotta contact her to be able to see my kids.
Right.
Because she's not gonna just bring them to me. And it's it was just so much manipulation. And, she's basically deterred my kids against me. They was here for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even want to leave when she decided to leave. They didn't even want to leave. But I haven't seen them since Christmas, man. And then next thing I know, that's why I imagine he's scared I'm going to be mad at him. But I know, talk to her family. They'll tell you the same thing. This is her family, not just me saying it. The people that knew her longer than me.
No, I hear you, and I'm not here trying to tell you that you can't see your kids or nothing like that. But we got to get that paperwork straightened out. You know what I mean?
This is so frustrating, man. Because I mean, they see it every day for 10 years, and I ain't do nothing to her.
Right.
She always say verbal abuse, but yet you hitting me, spitting on me in front of Prince William. That's why y'all arrested her, and she got found guilty the last time.
Right.
Even though I was like, I ain't want to press the charge. So if you're afraid of somebody, need a protective order, are you gonna spit on somebody you're afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
No, I was asking you. It was rhetorical.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But yeah, I want to answer. I would like to answer that. Would you spit on somebody that you're afraid of?
I mean, I personally wouldn't, but it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So let me try to take care of this before 5 o'clock, man.
Okay.
So once I take care of that, I can pick up my boys.
Keep in contact with Mr. Mall.
Okay.
Once you get that straightened out, and because I mean the whole thing with the kids, where the kids go, that's more of his area of expertise.
Okay.
I'm just a criminal investigator.
But since you're a criminal investigator, okay, so she had moved next door, right across the hall, right across from her last boyfriend of 4 months ago. And you got with this new guy. She's been with this new guy about 3 months. All right, so that guy, him and her, plotted to kill me. I didn't even notice until he got the police. He had First William to come there and kicked her and the kids out. So I had to come all the way down there to pick them up. And so when I picked her up and everything, we going to the Wawa. She was sitting there and she was like, yeah. She was like, look at this picture. This is where he said he was going to bury you. I said, for what? I don't even know this dude.
And who was this? Who was this guy?
Glenn Ford, because I looked y'all up and I'll show you when I get down there. I looked y'all up and I got one of the officers and I called the detectives because I was like, yo, somebody needs, because now I don't even know this new dude. I could just be standing somewhere or walking somewhere and they come up and shoot me and I'm not prepared because I don't know who they are.
So who was it that was saying they were going to shoot you? Was it Glenn or the other guy?
No, it was Glenn.
It was Glenn.
Yeah, but see, he knows where I live, and I still don't even know. I still don't even know him. I don't know what he drives or anything, so I can't even be on point for that type of situation. Because they sent me a picture one time of their location, and they was right on the street where I live. And I'm like, and I called her. Like, so where's the picture? And I said, matter of fact, where's the kids? Because I kept calling Prince William Child Protective, like, somebody go check on my kids. Because I knew she'd be leaving. Y'all just pulled her over coming from Manassas and let her go. She ain't never had license. She done had over 20 pullovers and never even went to jail. It's like no car seats and all this stuff, man. Did my baby, was she in a car seat when that happened?
So I'm actually not the crash investigator. I'm from the Special Victims Unit. I was working a separate aspect of this investigation, separate from the crash.
Okay.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I don't really have details about that portion.
And he wasn't hitting the kids, was he?
That I can't really go into too much detail about. That's what I'm looking in for, some physical abuse allegations. So that is still an active investigation.
What was it to my daughter?
To your daughter, you mean Empress?
Empress, yes.
As far as I know, no.
Okay. It was probably Pharaoh because Pharaoh is her favorite, and the last guy, Glenn, he got jealous of Pharaoh and Empress because of the relationship they have. Mm-hmm. Because of course they want us to go with Deanne when she was here because Deanne has no structure, no rules. I mean, her whole family will tell you.
Yeah.
Her sister, we lost custody of Imagine, when he was like 6 months. She kept him till he was almost 5. And then we went to court because she was like, I'm giving him back because I'm giving him to Divine because Divine is the one that's taking care of him. And we know Dorothy Ann is the problem. They knew her before me now. You gotta keep in mind, they grew up together, her and her husband. So, I mean, but she has, when you riding around, and the Special Victims Unit, you know her oldest daughter, Ava. What happened in Fairfax, right?
I know. There's thousands of cases, and more.
So Ava went to her father, her biological father. Ava 15. She's never even seen this dude one day in her life. So why would a child that's 15 and she spoiled Ava rotten? But Ava recognized how she was, and so Ava was like, Ava called me today, and she was like, she was like, I just want to make sure you're okay because I know your relationship with Empress. She's not going to her mom's funeral. And other people was like, well, don't nobody really want to go. That's how wicked she was, and everybody knew it and kept championing it for me. Mm-hmm. But I'm just trying to make sure I didn't want my kids to grow up without both their parents in the household.
Right.
Because I grew up in a broken family. So, I understand the dynamic. And that's why she went and took that warrant out on me. I know it because I haven't seen them since Christmas. So I started calling her and I talked and I said, listen, I need to see my kids. I said, why won't you let me see them? And then she sent a video of Imagine crying, something I don't want to go to dad. And I'm like, okay. But yet, come to find out, you put them in school finally, because they ain't never been to school. But Imagine that Jason DeFaro has it. And Empress, she finally put them in school. And then you want to send a video of him saying he don't want to come see me, but you couldn't even send a picture of me, my daughter. You know how special my daughter is, the relationship me and her had. And everybody will tell you that. She was a daddy's girl. And you couldn't even send me pictures of her first day, but yet you can post them. And this dude that you done moved in, that you just been knowing for 60 days, you got him all on my kids' accounts.
You found it?
But you blocked me from my own kids' accounts after I done took care of all of y'all, even including the other 3 that's not mine, for 12 years, man. And everybody out here vouch for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, just when you really look into it, but it's pointless now because she's dead and gone.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the one that kept calling CPS like, yo, go to the hotel, go check on her. You know, I knew she was using drugs. I knew it because last time I saw her, she had these bags in her eyes. And I was like, why you losing all this weight and look at you? But that's the thing. I got receipts, pictures, everything. We together all through Christmas. Every time she do a protective order, violent and everything, when she happy, she here.
Mm-hmm.
When she want to go sleep with another man or deal with another guy,
just minimize
she
it.
get me locked up.
Well, you know, just like with the past situations, a warrant doesn't mean you're guilty, right? It just means you get a day in
Everybody's
court.
Don't pause it.
You know, hopefully you can straighten that out with the court. Based on what you're telling me.
They're gonna basically say because she's not even able to come now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so every other time, the last time the judge was like, Mr. Fontaine, do you know what Miss Gordon? I said, she's sitting out there in the parking lot in the car.
Yeah. Well, all the more reason to just get this squared away as soon as possible, so you can move on from it. Okay.
Can you put Mr. Mall back on?
Yeah, Mr. Mall's right here.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So tell you what, so what's going to have to happen, Mr. Fountain, is just like Detective Romero stated, until you can get this cleared up, and knowing that all they're going to do is call us.
Yeah.
So we might as well start. It's a good thing you're getting this call now so that no one gets embarrassed or harassed. So short version, because you're a loving, caring father for your children, the biggest plan and goal that we can acknowledge that you'll go ahead and get these warrants or these warrants cleared up, the status of these warrants cleared up.
Okay.
And then we'll just.
I can hear them.
Yeah, but we don't have please understand, we don't have the jurisdiction to tell you that you cannot be around your children. But this is more.
I understand that.
Yeah,
but I'm saying I can come pick my kids up once I get to.
That's what we would have to do, because we don't have the jurisdiction to tell you that you can't come get the children.
Okay.
But if we have knowledge, like this law enforcement says that there's some legal pending against you,
Exactly.
then we can't. Policy.
Wow. What date was this? What date did she file this?
Well, I don't know, sir. That's legal. So we're not legal.
Let me call first.
That's legal. Just that's a policy thing, because if you look at it on per policy, that means that we're putting the children at risk.
Yes, I understand that.
Someone would be calling us saying, "Hey, Dad has some type of let's say some legal stuff that needs to be cleaned up."
I can get pulled over and they arrest me.
And then they call CPS. Exactly. Short version. Yes, sir. So then, okay. So then we'll just sit tight to hear from you.
Get this taken care of before 5.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. It's 4.
They're laughing at him. He just hung up the phone. They're laughing at him.
Listen, they're gonna laugh at him.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I'll tell you, I must have listened to this phone call over 100 times. And I didn't understand how important this phone call is until I started going through this file. I mean, what is happening in the background when they're talking to Devon Jones? In the hospital, you've got a 5-year-old baby fighting for her life and that father is being blocked from being there. And you ask yourself, why? Well, when you start going through the documents, you understand why that father is being blocked from being next to his 5-year-old baby. You've got a situation where Mustafa, who is Mustafa? Mustafa is a father figure in that baby's life. When you watch the Google Nest video, you see how that baby loves Mustafa.
And not only that,
That's
but you
the
heard
boyfriend.
You heard
Now,
what Divine asked Romero. He said,
Mustafa
was
is-
he said, was he
Mustafa-
abusing Empress? And he says no.
Mustafa, they're blocking Mustafa from being next to 5-year-old Empress. They're blocking the dad from being next to 5-year-old Empress. And then you look at the rest of the children. What did Romero tell Divine Jones? He told him, we're investigating allegations about child abuse. And then when you open the file, you see a forensic interview in Mustafa's file. And 14-year-old Javen is talking about that the police department weaponized him. Specifically, 14-year-old Javen says that the police investigator told him that Mustafa ran away, left his 5-year-old baby to bleed to death, and they could have saved her if it wasn't for Mustafa running away. Mustafa was in and out of consciousness, laying on the floor in front of his vehicle. At one point, Mustafa went into a complete coma. Mustafa was helicoptered to the hospital. They've lied to the children. They're sitting there weaponizing the children. No wonder you don't want the dad to be next to the children. Now, here's another question. Who authorized the children into the forensic interview?
That's a good question.
I mean, where is the body cams when you handle the children before you walk them into a forensic interview?
Can you accept that?
Now, I want to go into the forensic interview and listen to what 14-year-old Javen is telling us. I mean, these are giant allegations. If I didn't have the forensic interview, you can so easily dismiss this conversation. Let's watch what Javen, 14-year-old Javen, is talking about. Mohammed, if you can do me a favor, if you go over to exhibits. If you can put us in the background, go to, yeah, there you go. That's better.
When they got into the car crash, the detective said that he jumped out and ran, left the baby sitting there. And if he just thought to bring her to the hospital, maybe she would have made it, but she didn't because he decided to be a coward, and now she's gone. And now all I have is my two brothers. She was the sweetest. She would never even hurt a fly. She was citizen too. 25. And my mom's gone. Now she's gone. It's because of one man that I trusted. Because my mom kept on telling me he's a good guy. I kept on saying, okay. Alright, I told her, I had my suspicions, and I should have went with my gut. I knew something wasn't right, and I still believed her, and that's why they're caught today.
This when Mustafa went into a complete coma. The medical notes. Now, this is Javen, and Javen says, do me a favor, go back to the screen, the main screen. Go to camera. Yeah. Go back to, hit auto. Okay, so Javen, 14-year-old Javen, says, I always trusted Mustafa. I always trusted Mustafa. Mom always told me to trust Mustafa. That gives you insight into the kind of relationship that he has with Mustafa. That gives you an insight into the relationship that Dorothy had with Mustafa. She's telling her children to trust Mustafa. Now, we have a Google Nest video inside the apartment that shows us a beautiful relationship. All of a sudden, in a forensic interview, Javen is talking about that they told me that Mustafa ran away, left my 5-year-old baby sister to bleed to death. Well, let's go on the scene, because we have the body cams where Mustafa is laying in front of his vehicle, in and out of consciousness. Well, officers are lying about Mustafa. Officer Casey Fines already identified Mustafa, is painting a scene where Mustafa is on drugs when his toxicology report shows no alcohol, no drugs. They're painting a narrative out for Mustafa. Mustafa is laying in and out of consciousness in front of his vehicle. And at one point, he goes into a complete coma. He's getting helicoptered to the hospital. And then you got officers that are talking about that they've been watching Mustafa. They identified his girlfriend. They identified the baby, the kids. What is going on with these police officers? And then when you find out that Mustafa had over $500,000 lawsuit before the vehicle accident, you began to see the bigger picture. This is Mustafa right in front of his vehicle, well, where Casey Fines. Now they're telling the children that Mustafa ran away. Fled the scene, left your 5-year-old baby sister. We could have saved her. No wonder you don't want the dad to be anywhere next to the children. No wonder you don't want Mustafa to be anywhere next to the children. This is Casey Fine. Do me a favor. Go over to exhibits.
4520, that'll be 3. I'm already here. And then Mason and Wilhelm are on their way. All right, sir.
Take pictures while you do anything else.
No, we'll figure out where the bodies are going in a minute. Witnesses, anybody say what happened?
Yeah, there's a lady right over here in the black. She saw everything.
Okay.
I believe. This car is the at fault. This is the driver of that vehicle.
Okay. Thank you. So at fault so far. Crossed over, what, oncoming traffic?
I'm not 100% sure. Knowing him though, it's probably drug related.
Okay. If that's the case.
And he's laughing about Mustafa, painting a narrative. They already condemned him guilty the minute they got on scene, putting out a narrative that he's on drugs. As a matter of fact, is going around telling witnesses that Mustafa is on drugs. And if you're wondering, where's Mustafa? Mustafa's right there, in and out of consciousness, right in front of his vehicle. What did the off-duty paramedic say about Mustafa? The off-duty paramedic says Mustafa thinks he's in 2021 and Obama is the president. This is a vehicle happened in April 5th of 2023. Let's listen to the off-duty paramedic and what the off-duty paramedic is talking about.
Sorry, just gentlemen.
Are you centered where the exhibits are? Okay.
And did he say anything?
He didn't say anything. He didn't know what was happening. Thought Obama was still the president. Thought it was 2022. So it's a little incoherent.
You work for us?
I do not.
Okay. Who do you work for?
Marine Corps Embassy Security Group.
Okay.
So I'm a Navy corpsman down there.
Awesome.
Sorry, just asking the gentleman.
And did he say anything?
He didn't say anything. He didn't know what was happening. Thought Obama was still the president. Thought it was 2022. So it's a little incoherent.
You work for us?
I do not.
Okay. Who do you work for?
Marine Corps Embassy Security Group.
Okay.
So I'm a Navy corpsman down there.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Yep.
And we.
Mohammed, do me a favor. Go back to center. Take this off. All right. Investigator Robert Drum literally turns around to his police officer, and guess what Robert Drum tells his fellow police officer? Mohammed, he tells him the off-duty paramedic says that Mustafa is on drugs, that he thinks he's in 2021, and Obama is the president. I mean, if it wasn't on body cam, it's unbelievable. It's literally on body cam. The off-duty paramedic tells you Mustafa is dealing with a concussion. He thinks he's in 2021. And you've got officers telling each other he's on drugs. Go back to exhibits.
Oh, 1 second. This is a very interesting email. I want to...
Okay.
This is a really interesting email that
We'll go over it.
you can go over there.
Do me a favor, go back to exhibits.
Did he say what happened?
Yes.
Who ran what?
Nobody ran anything. This car's going this direction. Probably gets hit about right here. This car is coming the opposite direction. Crosses over into oncoming traffic.
He's coming. I'm going to go hold off the traffic.
He crosses over into oncoming traffic. Basically starts to yaw. Gets T-boned by the truck in this lane. Then spits out. Hits the wall and comes to rest. So, driver here, you guys say he's a known drug addict. We found methamphetamines on him. The kid in the back seat, thank God, was wearing a seatbelt. And then mom, who's dead right now, that's in Tara, died probably within the first 30 seconds. So I don't know if the kid's alive yet, but that driver is absolutely fine.
Good. I'm glad, but man, that sucks.
Yeah.
So he's coming down here too fast.
We already have all that, but all you gave us a big deal.
Thank you.
So he's coming down too fast. Y'all is out.
I think he either got drugged out because the Navy Corps medic who works at a Quantico said he was asking him if he remembers what's going on. He said Obama's still the president, 2020, that kind of shit.
I mean, he's sitting there telling him that they found that he's methed out, he's on drugs, that the Navy off-duty paramedic says that he thinks he's in 2021, and Mustafa's on drugs. Wait a minute. In the body cam, you'll see that Mustafa has Adderall, he's prescribed Adderall, and he's been on Adderall since he was 16 years old. But you've got an officer going around telling each other, yeah, he's methed out, he's on drugs. The off-duty paramedic said so. What do you mean? The off-duty paramedic just told you he's dealing with a concussion. He just came out of a major accident. This is where they find the prescription.
What else there, Cletus?
I'm not sure he was laying outside the car.
Reference my call. I'm at the I don't know. You'd be able to meet me there for about 15 minutes.
Nah, this is a phone. He grabbed the camera. Alright, cool.
Because, I want to get flown out, flying, go down the road for the tow,
He has a methamphetamine salt combo.
It's prescribed?
Yeah, prescribed. It doesn't mean he can't fucking drive with it.
This is Mustafa's toxicology report. Let's go over Mustafa's toxicology report. I mean, they've already ruled out Mustafa as guilty the minute they got on the scene. This is Mustafa's toxicology report. That if you see here, when you zoom in, blood alcohol non-detected. There's no alcohol in his system. You go over to THC, 0.0003. There's no drugs in Mustafa's system. And when you open the dash camera, you see Mustafa and Dorothy are passing back and forth a cigarette 6 times. And that goes to the foundation of the whole entire case. They're sitting there telling you that there's an argument inside the vehicle, but then when you watch the dash camera, they're passing back and forth a cigarette 6 times. Dorothy has cancer. She smokes hemp. They want to tell you that they're arguing inside the vehicle, but then you're watching Mustafa and Dorothy pass back and forth hemp 6 times. That's why the dash camera is sealed from this community. That's why Commonwealth Attorney doesn't want to release it, because she wants to tell you there's an argument, but then when you watch it, you see them passing back and forth a cigarette 6 times. Here's a toxicology report that shows no alcohol, no drugs. But you've got officers that already condemned Mustafa guilty, already put out this narrative that he's on drugs. And where's Mustafa exactly? This is Mustafa.
I want something to go get a blood draw.
And then out of consciousness in front of his vehicle.
4520, that'll be 3. I'm already here.
That right there.
And Mason.
That right there is Mustafa. What are they telling the kids? That Mustafa ran away, left your 5-year-old baby sister to bleed to death right before they walked him into a forensic interview? what exactly is going on with Mustafa? This is Mustafa inside the ambulance truck.
Is he pretty much out of it?
Is he pretty much out of it? This is Chad Mason confirming with the paramedics. Is he pretty much out of it? And then when you listen to Mustafa, clearly Mustafa doesn't know where he's at. I mean, what did the off-duty paramedic telling us? That Mustafa thinks it's 2021. Obama is the president.
Oh, cool. Is this his too?
Yep.
Was it in his pocket?
Yep. Front left.
Okay.
Okay, ready to go?
What is that?
Hey, sir. My name's Investigator Mason. Real quick, can you tell me what happened?
No, I don't.
What's up?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? What's that thing you remember?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I'm just really confused as what's going on.
What's that?
What's going on?
What's going on? You don't remember what's going on?
Starting the 90 right
No.
now.
Do you know where you were going?
Right now?
Well, a minute ago in the car.
I mean, he probably...
I got into a car accident, I think.
Yeah, where are you coming from?
Yeah.
I don't remember at the moment, to be honest.
I'm going to borrow this arm here, okay? I'm going to borrow this arm.
We're going to start an IV on you.
At the moment, I don't recall what's happening right now. I'm really confused.
Okay.
What's going on?
Do you remember taking any drugs or anything today? No? Okay. Did y'all find a license on him or anything?
Yes, it's with the unit outside. If you find the captain of E3, he'll have it.
Okay, cool.
Great.
Let's see if I retransfer to you. Fly or some terror? Or up in the air?
Use my fingers.
It's still up in the air. I just don't...
Squeeze,
I don't think he needs to fly.
Okay.
So we're not going to fly. We're going to end up going to...
4785. Got receiving that one.
They don't need to fly. I'm not going to fly now. Yeah, but I mean, there's no reason. Like, he's...
I want to go back to the forensic interview. Now that we're on the scene, we're seeing what Mustafa is going through. I want to go back to the forensic interview and what Javen tell us is going on.
When he got into the car crash, the detective said he jumped out and ran, left my baby sitting there. And if he just thought to bring her to the hospital, maybe she would have made it, but she didn't because he decided to be a coward. And now she's gone. And now all I have is my two brothers. She was the sweetest. She would never even hurt her fly. She was citizen too. 25. And my mom's gone. Now she's gone. It's because of one man that I trusted. Because my mom kept on telling me he's a good guy. I kept on saying, okay. Alright, I told her, I had my suspicions and I should have went with my gut. I knew something wasn't right. And I still believed her, and that's why they're gone today.
Do me a favor. I want you to go back and forth between exhibits. Now, Javen is telling us, 14-year-old Javen is telling us, investigator told me that Mustafa ran away, left my 5-year-old baby sister to bleed to death. Now, while this is happening, the father is being blocked from being next to his children. Mustafa is being blocked from being anywhere next to... I mean, we have a document where... Well, Mustafa is... Do you have that document? I want to pull that document up.
Which one?
Mustafa is being blocked. You have Divine Johnston's being blocked. But the ex-boyfriend is allowed to be in there? Glenn Ford? The ex-boyfriend. I mean, what did... In a forensic interview...
The biological father is not allowed to be with the child. The biological father is not allowed to be with the child, yet they allow a neighbor and the ex-boyfriend...
Now,
to be
in
there.
another forensic interview, 10-year-old Imagine, in the forensic interview, say that Glenn Ford, the ex-boyfriend, who's allowed into the hospital, had taken a picture of 5-year-old Empress condition and is showing it to them. So wait a minute, you've got a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old that's being weaponized while the neighbor is telling the kids that Mustafa peed on your mother. The ex-boyfriend is showing them pictures of the condition Empress is in. They're in the apartment.
By the way, specifically after the hospital told the ex-boyfriend and Tanisha Coleman that the kids should not see their little baby sister with all the equipment on her after she had passed. But Glenn Ford took a picture of her and made sure to show the kids that picture. I mean, the whole point of the hospital telling them that is that you don't want to traumatize these kids. That's their baby sister. Okay? The hospital is looking out for the interest of these kids. And Glenn Ford goes behind the hospital's back. He goes into that room, takes a photo, a graphic photo, and he's showing these kids that photo and then putting out this narrative that Mustafa did this to your sister and he's on the run. That's what he tells the kids.
Now, is valid when I sit here and ask for the body cams of Investigator Romero when he handled a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 16-year-old. I think that's valid. You're with the Children Forensic Unit. Where is those body cams in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case? Specifically, when I'm looking at a forensic interview where the child is talking about that you weaponized him. This is a Google Nest video inside the apartment. Now, the Google Nest video shows it's a beautiful relationship. Only after Investigator Romero gets involved, the police department gets involved, and then all of a sudden, this is the Google Nest video.
Let me know when to switch over.
Oh, do me a favor, go ahead and switch over. That's Mustafa. You see, that's Mustafa. That's 14-year-old Javen. That's Tanisha Coleman, the neighbor, who's telling the children that Mustafa had peed on your mother. Hold on, ma'am. If you're not lying to us, what's your child doing spending their spring break over at Mustafa and Dorothy's apartment? The day of the accident?
That's a really good question.
The day before the accident? The day before? And they're sleeping over till the next day. Oh, hold on now. What's happening here is you're in possession of the kids, and with the police department, specifically Investigator Romero, that mysteriously the body cams, when he handled the children, are not there. Wait a minute, isn't Investigator Romero records everything? Where are those goddamn body cams? And why are they not in the Mustafa Al-Jazari file? Let's watch the body cam. Let's watch the Google Nest video.
No, it's not gonna work. I promise you, sir. It's not gonna work. I swear to God.
Hey, everybody out of my room.
What about Sean? Can he stay?
Out.
What about
We're
Sean?
going out
Can
too,
he stay?
Moses.
Oh man, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
I found that document that you were...
In this Google Nest video, you see it's a beautiful relationship. They're playing with the water gun, and you see how the children are interacting with Mustafa. It's a beautiful relationship until they were weaponized against Mustafa. Well, the father is being blocked. Mustafa's being blocked. And conveniently, the Commonwealth Attorney, Amy Ashworth, is terrified and is avoiding the Google Nest videos. I wonder why the Commonwealth Attorney is terrified from the Google Nest videos.
Yeah, stay down. What the hell is that? Do you need some water to wake up, sir? Want some water?
That's 5-year-old Empress. That's Javen that we're watching in a forensic interview. that tells you, I trusted Mustafa. Mom always told me trust Mustafa.
Protect her.
That's Tanisha Coleman, a.k.a. Nini, the one that's telling the children that Mustafa pees on your mother. So you've got a situation where the neighbor, the ex-boyfriend, and investigator Romero are weaponizing their children before they walk them into a forensic interview.
Mom, you're next.
And you want to tell me those body cams are not relevant? Where are the goddamn body cam when investigator Romero weaponized those children? Why are they not in Mustafa Al-Jazari file?
What are you guys doing? What the fuck is this? What is this horse place shit?
I'll beat your ass.
No,
Do you?
I'll put you in the fucking frying pan and cook you up like fucking pork chop, bitch.
I'll beat you.
You know, I can fight. You guys don't-
Your grandma still on the fucking.
What's up, dog?
Your grandma still on the fucking sponge. That's you. Your grandma eat a Big Mac right now. Your grandma eat a fucking Big Mac right now.
I mean, look at the way the children jump at Mustafa. And what did the child tell him? I'll beat your ass. You want to tell me that this child is terrified from Mustafa? If Mustafa was abusing the children, the child would not be comfortable telling his abuser, I'll beat your ass. And then go on and jump on him and throw water at him. I mean, that's why this Commonwealth attorney is so terrified that there is a Google Nest video inside the apartment.
I mean, I find it interesting and odd that you have an officer like Robert Drum who claims this is a double homicide. Wouldn't you be interested, as a police department, wouldn't you be interested in all the evidence, anything and everything? Yet you see from the dash cam, they're not interested in all the videos. Okay, from his cell phone, they're trying to hide what his cell phone is going to show. Okay, you're looking at this Google Nest. They're not.
I mean, they were gonna walk Mustafa into trial and avoid the cell phone completely. The prosecutor.
They're not. I mean,
the prosecutor is terrified from the cell phones.
I'm sure people have seen these the true crime shows, the documentaries, where police they're getting like down to the location where your cell phone pinged off of which tower. You know, they get all that information, whether it's relevant or not. If you're claiming this is a double homicide, you want every piece of information on file. Yet they're not interested in the video from that same day of Mustafa and Dorothy leaving the apartment, of what happened prior to them leaving the apartment. They're not interested in it at all.
There's a beautiful video that went up on the internet, and I want to thank specifically Augie. Thank you for that video, ma'am. You're shedding light on specific details. And I'll tell you, the material facts of this case show that this is a vehicle accident. I want to go over that video. I want to go into the data recorder in the Mustafa Al-Jazari. There's a computer inside the vehicle. When you look at the data, the numbers will show you that this is a vehicle accident. It'll show you that his foot is on the brake. I mean, Muhammad, we're going to go into the data recorder. We're going to go over that video. Before we go into the data recorder, I want to go, there's documents that you want to go over. And I think with those documents, you're going to see the bigger picture here. Listening to that phone call, you ask yourself, what is that phone call and how relevant is that phone call? I mean, some will tell you, see, I listened to this phone call over 100 times. And I don't really understand it until you start going through the case. Why is the father being pushed away? Why are they toying with that dad? And they're actively pushing him away. Well, his children are being weaponized. Against who exactly?
They're being abused by the police.
They're being abused by the police.
Okay, and I'm sure if a dad is there, he's not going to allow police to actively abuse his children, to tell them lies about.
I mean, they're telling the children that Mustafa pees on your mother. They're telling the children that Mustafa left your 5-year-old baby ran away. We could have saved her. He ran away, left her. She's bleeding to. I mean, this is abuse. This is child abuse. I want to go over the hospital. Did you find all the documents?
No, I'm still looking for one.
Which document do you want to go over first?
So, I have the medical examiner.
Before we go into the medical examiner, because I want to go into the medical examiner and then jump into the dash camera.
Okay, before you go into that,
yeah,
you know, earlier we touched on Robert Drum, the police department, and specifically the audio that the prosecutor in court alleges is not there from this dash cam. They want to say that Mustafa was arguing, but we don't have his dash camera in court, by the way, only in court, not on paper. In court, the prosecutor argues that the dash cam did not capture audio, even though digital forensics, there's a report from digital forensics that tells us that digital investigator Kathy Zymus says there is audio to this dash camera.
I'm going to pull up that document. If you want to do me a favor, go to exhibit. I want to pull that document because you know how easy it is to dismiss that conversation if you didn't have the document. This is a document.
Digital forensics is telling, digital forensics is saying in the police report that there is audio to this dash cam. Okay? We know Robert Drum and Chad Mason were the ones that were handling this dash camera. The prosecutor wants to tell the judge in court, she wants to tell this community that this dash cam did not capture audio. Now, I have a very interesting question for the prosecutor, for the police department, and this community. Wouldn't you think that if you're claiming there's no audio, wouldn't you think that the primary communication with Rexing, which is Rexing USA, the company that makes this dash camera out of located in New Jersey, wouldn't you think that the first thing the investigator would ask is, can you tell me why this dash cam didn't capture audio, even though digital forensics in our department is telling us that audio capability was turned on and that the files have an audio track? Hold on a second. Wouldn't you think that would be the first thing that the investigator would be seeking, right? Now, put this document up on your screen. Let me airdrop to you real quick. Let's take a dive into what Robert Drum was asking Rexing. Okay, when he pulled up this dash camera, he went through the files. Digital forensics is telling him, they're telling him that the audio capability is turned on. They're telling him that this file, these videos, they have a visible audio track. Word for word. That's Kathy Zymus' words.
Well, I'm gonna read the document where Officer Zymus admits there's audio, and then we'll go into that document. All right. So Officer Zymus,
you got to zoom in so that people can see it. Okay. So this is the report from Catherine Zymus from Digital Forensics of Prince William County. Okay, and she's telling us that out of the over 500 videos that were located on this dash camera, what did she say?
So this document is put into this is April 24, 2023. Officer Catherine Zymus.
Yeah.
Officer Zymus says in the document, although the last several videos
recorded. Let's start from the beginning. I initially imaged. By the way, this is why Chad Mason violated department policy, because digital forensics. What are they going to do with this dash camera? They're going to make a copy image of the original file. Okay, and then when they open the files, they're not going to tamper with the original files. They're going to make a copy image of those files so that the defendant, anytime he wants to come in and examine this piece of evidence, his expert is going to come in and also make a copy of the original files so that there's no question that no one tampered with these files. And that's what she says here. She says, I initially imaged. What is it?
I initially imaged
the
content of the memory card inserted in the dash camera using magnet Axon. I processed the extraction and created an Axon report with all the videos and picture recovered, included carved deleted files.
Okay. The date of that is April 24th. Okay, April 24th. The accident happened on April 5th. Now, Chad Mason told us on October 31st that he took this dash cam and plugged it directly into his laptop and began manipulating the original files. And that's how he violated department policy, because he's tampering with the original files of this dash camera. Okay? Now, Kathy Zymas comes afterwards, and now she's making an initial image of the contents. After Chad Mason had played with the files, then he's going to send it to digital forensics? I mean, what's the point of making a copy of these files if your officer is already plugging it into his laptop and manipulating the original files? So even if Mustafa wants to bring in an expert, what is he going to examine? The files that Chad Mason already tampered with?
Now,
It's
Mustafa,
bullshit.
now Mustafa's lawyer, new defense attorney, is he scheduled an appointment to sit down with the prosecutor, Sarah Sammy, 5 times, and 5 times she canceled it. He wants the SD card. He wants the SD card inspected by an independent expert. 5 times she canceled it, and now he has to fight his way through the court to get access into the SD card.
Okay.
What is Prosecutor Sarah Sammy terrified from? Because when you hire an independent expert and you inspected this SD card, you're going to get to the bottom, because you're going to download the metadata on the SD card, and you're going to get to the bottom of whether this SD card was tampered with by this investigator, Chad Mason. Because what do we have today? A dash camera that doesn't have audio, a dash camera that is cut before impact, a dash camera that has 17 frames missing from the camera facing inward. Now, let's go into that document. And did you read the whole thing? Although the last several videos, the document continues, although the last several videos recorded on the device did not appear to have sound. So wait a minute, why do I have a complete dash camera that doesn't have audio? Because here Officer Zymas says only the last
videos.
Exactly. Now, Officer Zymas also says the sound recorded feature on the device was turned on. Where is the goddamn audio?
Repeat that again. The sound record feature was turned on. That means this dash camera installed by Mustafa in his car.
He's had it over 5 years.
This dash cam had the settings to record audio. Let that sink in. Prosecutor wants to claim Mustafa intentionally crashed his car, and we're sitting here looking at a dash cam that Mustafa installed into his car, where that records audio and video in high definition.
I mean, that narrative
in 4K quality.
That narrative makes no sense. They want to tell you that he premeditated this, but he left his dash camera on.
His dash camera.
What are you talking about? He's not even wearing a seatbelt. What are you talking about? You don't think I'm gonna it's the whole narrative is so ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
This dash camera, by the way, it's this big. It's not something that you put and you forgot it was there. It's literally sitting in the center of his windshield, and it's a giant camera that has a screen on it where you can see yourself.
What do you mean? And then
you can see yourself in it.
And then what do you mean when you find out that there is the reason that he got this dash camera is because he was involved in a lawsuit against the police, and his own lawyer told him, "You're suing the biggest gang in America. You're suing the police. You're gonna get harassed." He had the dash camera for over 5 years.
Okay, keep going.
The document continues and reads, which showed that the file did have an audio track.
Did have an audio track.
So why are you hiring a lip reader if you have the audio?
Let's continue, and then we're going to find out a 20-plus years experience with the police department, a crash investigator. I mean, think of that. A crash investigator with 20-plus years of experience. He's going to contact the company of this dash camera, okay? Let's see what his priorities are. We're not investigators.
I mean, you would assume.
Look, we're not investigators.
I mean, his priorities should be, where's the audio?
We're not investigators, okay? But when you're reading this document, right? You're reading this document. What are you going to think of next? I'm going to contact the company that makes this dash camera. What would be my first question? Not as an investigator, just as a regular human being. As a regular Joe Schmo. Okay, what are my questions for this company? The sound record feature is turned on. The prosecutor claims no audio. My investigator is telling me this has audio. It should have audio. Well, let's see. What am I going to ask Rexing?
Well, I have an email.
Yeah, we don't have to speculate. Let's read the email. Robert Drum is asking Rexing.
from Robert Drum sent Monday, July 17, 2023, 3:45 p.m. to Rexon. Subject: information about your product. The email reads, "Good afternoon. My name is Investigator Drum. I worked for the Prince William County Police Crash Investigation Unit. Earlier this year, we had a double fatal involving a mother and her daughter. The suspect was arrested. The video shows that the WHO event and our Commonwealth Attorney Office is asking about the information related to your camera system. I have tried calling your number and can't get anyone to pick up the phone. I understand you have an office in New Jersey. I am willing to travel to meet with someone who can walk me through how your camera works. The video GPS location does not have change data, and the speed limit is stuck at 77 in every video. There are questions we need to understand. Can someone please give me a call at Blocked Out as soon as possible, or confirm this email? Investigator Robert Drum, -1790, Prince William County Police Department."
Hold on a second. This is his primary concern, that the GPS data is not changing and the speed is stuck at 77. Nowhere in there do you say where is the audio?
Specifically when they're saying, I mean, the Commonwealth Attorney is telling you there's no audio. Why is he not asking about the audio?
Why are you not asking about the audio? And I mean, this is the dilemma that we're having here.
Hold on now. Is it maybe have something to do with Investigator Chad Mason getting on the stand during a motion to dismiss and telling the judge, Carol Weimer, I took the SD card and plugged it into my personal laptop? Yes, I violated department policy. Is that even a question?
I mean, why is
and now you're talking about a dash camera that doesn't have audio, it cuts before impact, 17 frames missing, and the investigator's not asking about the audio?
He's worried about the speed?
Oh, you have the audio because Officer Zymus says she has the audio.
By the way, go back to that. Go back to Zymus real quick. Now, from our last podcast, we covered Officer Rob Davis, who specifically tells Officer Rob Sermon that he has an idea about this case. It's going to cost spending money, though. He has an idea that they should employ as police officers, not in their official capacity, but in their personal capacity.
I posted the video. I'm going to play it.
He has an idea about this case that they should employ.
Once again, this arm's new.
Okay. Properly fastened?
Properly fastened.
Okay. Did you do anything inappropriate to it?
You hear that?
Did he say yeah? He said yeah?
He said yeah. And then you fast forward, and here he's talking about...
When you literally... Body cam is on over to Evelyn Horton on the phone.
Did you do anything inappropriate to it? Yeah.
I mean, it gets disturbing when you find out that he's talking about... he has an idea to employ into this case. Let me pull up the body cam for you.
It would take spending money, though.
Oh, did you talk to the individual using as a...
It would take...
My question to this community is...
Without us. Okay, offline.
I mean, the people...
It would take spending money, though.
It would take spending money.
I think you're going to repeat it here. You're going to repeat it. Keep going.
With the wife of the investor being pumped into this case, phone is using case while a key witness in this case because...
Hey, Rob, remind me to tell you I had an idea about this case.
Go back to the exhibits.
Blurly.
Let's listen to that again.
Okay. Hey, Rob, remind me to tell you I had an idea about this case that I thought we should imply. Imply? Is that the word? Employ. It would take spending money, though.
It would take spending money.
It would take spending money, though. Okay? Now you have an investigator.
Did you do anything inappropriate to it? He says, yeah. Remind me to tell you about an idea I have to employ into this case, but it's gonna take spending money. What spending money are you employing in Mustafa's case?
I mean, I wonder what the chief of police think about his officers and their priorities. They want to spend money personally out of their own pocket. Into this case, you have a officer, investigator, 20 plus years with the department, falsifying statements, falsifying reports, tampering with evidence. Tampering with evidence?
Now, these are, by the way, what you say, if I can't provide you, there are those that will tell you there is no way that Officer Chad Mason got on the stand in front of Judge Carol Weimer, the presiding judge, and said, yes, I took the SD card, plugged it into my personal laptop, I violated. I'm going to release the audio to that proceeding.
Coming soon.
Now, the dash camera doesn't have audio, it's cut, and the main investigator is not even asking about the audio?
By the way, it gets worse because you think it's not only that he's not asking about it, it's that it's nowhere in the discovery file. It's none of the police reports, none of the supplement reports claim that this dash cam didn't record audio. Now go to the bottom of that. What did Kathy Zimas do after she found out that this dash cam does have audio? What did she do?
She says, I then processed the E01 image I previously created in XOM using Celebrite physically. This is block.
Go to the next statement.
Next statement. Investigator Davis. Investigator Davis, the same one that has an idea to employ, is going to require spending money. Investigator Davis was advised of the result via phone, and the file were shared using the county network drive. The camera was then repackaged and will be sent to criminal evidence section.
By the way, this is on the 24th, right?
24th.
Why did Robert Drum...
April 24 of 2023.
Why did Robert Drum, on October 31st of last year, 2024, why did he get on the stand and say that he checked out the dash camera on April 19th? He checked it out of evidence? You know that conversation he was having with Rexing?
Yeah.
About the GPS?
Yeah.
And about, what was the speed? He checked out the dash camera.
Okay, so what are you saying
Prior
here?
to digital evidence going through it, prior to Kathy Zimas' report, Robert Drum went to evidence, went to the physical evidence locker, and he checked out Mustafa's dash camera. Prior to Kathy Zimas making a, initial image of the contents, before she made an image of the contents, he checked this dash camera out. And there's a body cam where he's on the phone with Rexing. And he never mentions that this thing is missing audio. He's very interested in, what is he very interested in? He asks Casey Stevens to ask us.
The defense attorney at the time.
He's asking the defense attorney to ask us, can you get the contents of this dash cam on a cloud somewhere? You know why he's very interested in it, whether we can access this thing from a cloud? It's because he wants to know that when he deletes the audio, when he cuts that last clip before the impact, he wants to know, is the family going to come out with the original video from a cloud somewhere and they're going to contradict my report? That's why they never put it in black and white. Think about it. That's why they never put it in black and white. The only time you hear this dash cam has no audio and that the last portion is cut is from the prosecutor's mouth. There's no record of it.
Are you talking about the same defense attorney that in 2016 got in a vehicle accident, a DUI, fled the scene, and only got 90 days suspended, and just happened...
No jail time.
No jail time. And then just happened it's the same investigator who today is falsifying Mustafa's police report.
They didn't take his license.
That defense attorney?
They didn't take his license.
Oh, the defense attorney that told us to destroy whatever evidence
that we have. Evidence that you have.
That the prosecutor is going to retaliate and protect her police officer if you go to internal affairs. The same one that stole over $55,000 and on body cam is sitting there protecting that investigator.
And out of your money, he donated to Amy Ashworth. Out of your money.
I mean, what's a Republican donating to a Commonwealth attorney that's a Democrat while he's a defense attorney for Mustafa? So he takes $55,000 from me. donates $4,700 to the Commonwealth Attorney
Democrat.
while bringing a case against the person that you're representing. I mean, the more you look into who this defense attorney and how we got this defense attorney and what is going on those body cam, the county is protecting itself. They sent you a lawyer. They took all your money and they got you exactly where they want you.
It's almost amusing that your lawyer, who you're showing evidence, by the way, we played that audio recording for him, and he said, wow, this officer did lie. He falsified Mustafa's statements. Mustafa never said he was arguing. Okay? And he says, now, what do we do with this recording? He says, I'm going to play it in the bond hearing.
And he never did. He played the wrong portion.
He says
that doesn't show that the investigator had falsified Mustafa's police reports.
Amar, he says, I'm going to play the recording at the bond hearing. And by the way, I'll say something about the bond hearing. When Sarah Sammy told the judge that Mustafa had crashed his car previously, Casey Stevens already had this discovery file. You know, at the bottom of the discovery, there's an FBI search of Mustafa's driving record. There's an FBI search of his criminal background.
Talking about the yellow documents, yeah.
That yellow document. Let me see. Let me see what it's called. I mean, people in law enforcement, people with like a law degree, people that practice law, they know what this document means. It's called. Here it is. It is called.
So Sarah Sammy already knew when she sits there and reads off.
Here it is.
Investigator Robert Drum.
It's called NCIC. National something like I don't. Let's see. It's basically an FBI search. It's a detailed search of everything about you, your driving record, nationwide. If you had a license in any other state, it's going to pop up here. If you had a car accident, if you got a ticket. If you got moving violation, anything under your name that's in the system is going to pop up here.
Then I don't understand. Why is she sitting in front of the judge, telling the judge that Mustafa, Your Honor, Investigator Robert Drum, is telling me that Mustafa crashed a vehicle, gave Jason Nance a brain injury, a traumatic brain injury.
This was ran on July 26th.
This would mean there is a incident report with a vehicle accident, a crash, right? Where she has this document. It's no, she knows there is no accident. She's telling the judge that Mustafa crashed a vehicle before this accident, gave someone, his name is Jason Nance, a traumatic brain injury. If she has this document. So she knows there is no crash, and she knows there is no. There has to be a hospital report from this traumatic brain injury.
Okay, here's what it's called. It's called the National Crime Information Center. It's a computerized database maintained by the FBI's Criminal Justice Information Services Division. And on this document, it shows Mustafa has never been in a prior accident. Yet the prosecutor stood in court and told the judge that Mustafa had, previous to this case, crashed his car and gave his passenger traumatic brain injury, Jason Nance. And Casey Stevens never pushes back on it. He doesn't say a single thing. He has his document right there on his laptop.
When you find out that it's the defense attorney that was in 2016, I want to play with when you find out it's the defense attorney that has history with this investigator, you start seeing the bigger picture. This is Sarah Sammy inside the court telling the judge that, Your Honor, Mustafa crashed a vehicle on purpose and gave Jason Nance a traumatic brain injury.
With brain damage, tell me more about what that's all about.
Your Honor, during the investigation that Investigator Drum and other members of the Craft Investigation Unit were conducting, they received a number of calls from citizens. One such call was from an individual totally unrelated to this case who indicated to Investigator Drum that he had been in a crash where the defendant was driving previously, and because of that crash, he had a traumatic brain injury. Based on that person's perception, he indicated to investigators not to believe the defendant did it on purpose. But that individual was totally unrelated to this event. He wasn't even on the investigator's mind or thoughts until he actually reached out to the investigator himself. Is there anything else the court would like to
I thought I understood what you were saying.
The judge in that proceeding, I have the whole proceeding. We can listen to it. The judge was so horrified that what this prosecutor is telling him, and by the way, she doesn't give him evidence. She does something called proffer, that she tells the judge, I have evidence, Your Honor, but that she doesn't proffer. He lets her proffer. She said, Your Honor, I'm reading from a police report where the investigator, so you're talking about a situation where investigator Robert Drum not only falsified Mustafa's statement, where he said in his police report, Mustafa told me he was arguing inside the vehicle, and then you have an audio that Mustafa never said that. Now you're talking about this investigator falsified the witness statement because, what is it, just the other day, you ran into Jason Nance, and what is Jason Nance talking about? I never said that. Mustafa
never said that. I never said that to the officer. He's like, I never said that. Well, why is your name on a police report? Why is your name on a police report?
This is the police report. In the police report, it says this is a supplement. This is a supplement to case PD 230012075 in reference to a multi-vehicle crash which occurred on 4/5/2023. I received a voicemail from Jason Nance, who advised he knows Mustafa Al-Jazari from a local 7-Eleven. James stated he was the victim of a TBI, traumatic brain injury, and it's difficult to understand some of what he is saying. Jason called and left a message stating he wanted to give his history with Mustafa, of Mustafa driving unsafe with him inside the vehicle. Jason stated Mustafa attempted to get Jason, and then he's saying that Jason told him that Mustafa crashed the vehicle.
I mean, we just heard the prosecutor say that in court.
Well, let's play the video of what Jason Nance has to say.
Let's hear what Jason Nance has to say.
Yeah, how you been? No, I guess I'm making do. Got a couple things going on now. I got a misdemeanor and a class 6 felony. So I did a little time. I had to do a little time in jail, and then thankfully my mom kind of keep track of me after a few days, and she can bail me out. And then right as I'm getting bailed out, I suffered my second seizure. Because you're going and taking me in, I couldn't even mention the drug that I'm on because I just started, and so then I'm without the drug for 4 days, and then I have a suffer a seizure on my way out. You know what I mean? And so yeah, so I got 2 charges from that. But how have you been?
What happened next didn't just shake
I can't have the answer.
On national
but
and the moment the line went dead.
Yeah, but concerning the window, that's actually, but yeah, it's a little simple. But then that other spot, it didn't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It was, you know what I'm saying, that not permanently. So it was like, we hit for a little while, and then it came back. So then I guess I had to open the whole window. But that's
what do you think about Moses? What's going on with him?
Yeah, that's just what I said. You know, and really, it's not my place to speak. You know, but what do you think?
It's fake. It's fake stuff. Fake allegations. I don't know if you heard, my older brother was able to get all the body cams. He was able to get all the unredacted going, man?
Yeah,
how you been?
No, I guess I'm making do. Got
Go on, man.
Yeah,
how you been?
No, I guess I'm making do. Got a couple things going on now. I got a misdemeanor and a classic felony.
Giving you traumatic brain injury.
That's false.
Said that all the unredacted reports, and I think they used your name in there.
Who?
Prosecutor stood in court and said Mustafa was denied bond because the prosecutor said that they're alleging that you told a investigator of Prince William County that Mustafa had crashed a car with you in it and he had given you traumatic brain injury.
That's false.
That's false.
That's false. I don't know, false for you from your mouth, one way or another. Right, I'm just saying. Yeah. It's not. That account's not true.
Yeah,
some kind of way.
It's crazy. Okay. They
I mean, this is Jason Nance telling you it's false. What the prosecutor said in court, what got Mustafa denied bond, is false.
I mean, the judge was so horrified. He said, I'm going to give Mustafa a bond, but what you're telling me about this traumatic brain injury, I have to deny the bond.
You're telling me that this jail behind you is holding a man in solitary confinement for 2.5 years because the prosecutor lied. And here you have the person saying, it's false. I never said that to the police. So Robert Drum not only falsified Mustafa's statements in order to get a warrant, he falsified a witness statement. So, the real question comes down to this. What kind of community do we want for Prince William County? When you have a investigator writing up false warrants, he's swearing an oath to false affidavits about a warrant. He's swearing an oath to falsified statements on Mustafa. He swore an oath that Jason Nance told him that Mustafa gave him brain injury when the guy says, I never said that to him. Okay? He swore an oath that he's going to follow policy and procedure of the police department. And then he takes the stand and says, yeah, I violated digital evidence policy. I tampered with the camera. So what? I mean, is this the kind of community that Amy Ashworth promised us? Is this the kind of community that Chief of Police Peter Newsham wants?
I mean, these are the same individuals that are handling other cases. The only way that you can sit here and say, and when you say that, you can actually prove it is because you have access to this file, a file that's sealed by Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, that you can sit here and say, yep, they falsified Mustafa's case. They did this in They did this in Mustafa's case. They did that in Mustafa's case. These are the documents. This really is the file. But these are the same individuals that are handling other cases.
It's really sad.
And you want to tell me this is a safe community?
It's really sad that, when I say the stink is coming from the top. Okay? Because you as a chief of police, you as a Commonwealth attorney, you are setting the example as a chief of police for all of your officers. Okay? There's over 4,000 officers for this community. You're setting the example for these officers. As a top Commonwealth attorney, you are setting the example for all of your prosecutors. That when you see wrongdoing, you're going to double down on it. You're not gonna retract your statement. You're not gonna fix the issue, but you're gonna cover it up. Okay, Sean Shelton, I remember what he said specifically to us. He says, we want the community to entrust in our department. You think we like having bad publicity? We don't. I mean, they have a whole entire person, Paroque.
A spokesperson for the police department.
Officer Paroque.
Yep.
He's their social media person.
I mean, when he came out,
his job is to build relationships with the community.
What did he say specifically in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case? That the minor administrative
the violations
error
are minor.
Minor. Wait a minute, because I have the internal notes.
Do you think tampering with a dash camera, falsifying a witness statement, falsifying the person's statement, tampering with witnesses, abusing children, you think those are minor?
Internal Affairs.
In what world are you living in that you think these are minor?
Internal Affairs took the audio of the conversation that you supplied. You gave Internal Affairs First Sergeant Sean Shelton an audio of the actual conversation between Mustafa and the investigator. This investigator says Mustafa said, I was arguing inside the vehicle. The audio showed Mustafa never said that. You took that audio. You gave it to Internal Affairs. Internal Affairs. In what world does it make sense? They gave this audio to the same investigator that falsified the police report only for him to write another report, a supplement report, and conveniently he's telling you I can't hear the audio? And then Paroque, the spokesperson for the police department, comes out on the news and says, it's minor administrative error. What do you mean?
I mean, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You really should be ashamed of yourself. Amy Ashworth, Chief of Police, Sean Shelton, Lieutenant Spina, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. To have this much misconduct. I mean, misconduct is labeling it lightly. Okay, to have this much...
I think that's a very kind word for what they're doing here.
To have this much fucking around, going inside your department, and you're going to double down on it. You're going to double down. Amy Ashworth, like, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, okay? To come out publicly and say, I am running to take care of this community. No, you are fucking up this community. You're taking a big shit on this community.
I mean, these are the people that are handling other cases. In this case, you have the file. It's a miracle that you have the file, and you're able to leak out the sealed file from Commonwealth Amy Ashworth. What else are they doing in this community that they claim is a safe community? This is the same medical examiner. In Mustafa Al-Jazari case, he falsified the medical examiner reports.
This is the same medical examiner that ruled on Juan Campos.
18-year-old Juan Campos.
Okay, this is the same medical examiner.
9 days into his incarceration in here. His face is bashed in, but the medical examiner
Check this out. This is the same medical examiner that ruled on probably Tatiana David, probably the other death officer-involved shooting. You know, this is the medical examiner that we have in this community, Jean Maya. Can you pull that up?
Which one? The medical examiner report? You sent it to me?
Yeah. I mean, what a shame. What a shame that it takes two brothers fighting tooth and nail to get documents to show this community that this police department is rotten from the top.
Is this the medical examiner report?
That this prosecutor's office is rotten from the top. It's rotting.
This is it?
It stinks, and the community is seeing right through it.
This is the medical examiner report, right?
I mean, when you search Sarah Sammy's name, by the way, like, nothing good comes out. You know, as a prosecutor, this is your career. As a prosecutor, you're telling this community, I am prosecuting criminals. But when you search up her name, like, nothing good comes out. All that comes up is someone that hides evidence, tampers with evidence. Okay? All her actions are questionable. Like, is this the image that you want portrayed of you in public? Or do you want to be a hero? Like, what is it with these prosecutors? But, you know, at the end of the day, the example is being set from the top. And you have a stinky Commonwealth attorney that is doubling down on lies. Okay? If you think every person charged with a crime is going to have their family members quit their jobs and talk about their case 24/7, it's not going to happen. But in this case, you have hard evidence that your officers are fucking around and the chief of police is covering it up for whatever reason.
I want to read the medical examiner report.
Please.
Because without this document, by the way, this is a sealed document from you, from me, from this community, that without this document, you can talk all you want. Your conversation gets dismissed in 2 seconds. It's your word against this county. But then when you have the document when you have the medical examiner right from you, and then you find out, why is this document sealed? Why is this dash camera sealed?
Why is this case sealed?
Let's read the medical examiner. Name Dorothy Ann Fontaine, case number N2023 -00648, and let's go all the way to the bottom.
Go ahead and zoom in on that. So this is the summary of why Dorothy Fontaine was ruled a homicide.
Per investigation, this 33-year-old woman was a front passenger in a motor vehicle collision and was pronounced dead in the emergency department. At autopsy, there are multiple blunt force injuries of the head, neck, torso, and extremities in some, injuring the brain, spinal cord, cervical vertebrae, ribs, lungs, liver, diaphragm, and pelvis. Police investigation obtained a dash camera video of the interior of the vehicle moments prior to the crash, which shows the driver maneuvering the vehicle into oncoming traffic. Despite protest from the decedent, the rear passenger is associated case N2023-00654. This dash camera shows the driver intentionally collided with another vehicle. Therefore, the manner of death is homicide.
So the key word here is, okay, if you didn't hear all that, the key word is, let me go to it so you can zoom in on it. Police investigation obtained a dash cam video of the interior of the vehicle moments prior to the crash, which shows the driver maneuvering the vehicle into oncoming traffic despite protest from the passenger. Despite protest? I mean, are we looking at the same dash camera here?
Wait a minute. Why is it when I open the dash camera...
You're talking about the dash cam that they sealed?
When I open this dash camera, that Commonwealth attorney is telling this community that Mustafa is arguing inside the vehicle. This medical examiner is saying that Dorothy is protesting. Why is it that when I open this dash camera, I see that Mustafa and Dorothy are passing back and forth a cigarette 6 times? Not once, not twice, 6 times.
Let's go to Jean Maya's statement here. Zoom in on that right there. Despite protest. I mean, even when you want to think, what protest? When Amy Ashworth got a lip reader, I don't remember him saying anything about a protest. I don't think he said anything about Dorothy protesting. So where is this medical examiner, Jean X Maya? Where is this medical examiner coming off saying that this is a homicide because the driver is crashing his car while the passenger is protesting? What kind of bullshit are you telling us?
What do you mean?
Here?
She's betting on the fact that the Commonwealth attorney is going to seal off this document so she can get to do whatever, and she gets to write whatever she wants in this medical examiner.
And that's what they did.
She's comfortable.
That's what they did. They sealed off the dash camera. They falsified the reports. They falsified what's in the dash camera. And then they told the medical examiner, hey, we already talked to Rexing. They're saying there's no video on any cloud. Okay, Chad Mason has already tampered with this video. We've sealed off all the documents, so the defendant's not going to get it, the lawyer's not going to get it. We have a hidden compartment files of Mustafa's case that nobody's going to be able to access because who knows what should be in the file? Nobody knows. Okay? So they gave this medical examiner the green light. Go ahead and rule it as a homicide.
On day one?
So that we can tell this jury that a medical examiner examined this body, examined the evidence. It's not just us telling you. It's not just the prosecutor, the police officer, the police department. It's not just the evidence. It's a medical examiner telling you that this is a homicide.
And then on the community side, the Commonwealth attorney seals off the file, and then she puts the brother on national television on day one telling this community that my sister was on the phone telling her friend that she's protesting. She's arguing.
Let's take...
that Mustafa is crashing the vehicle on purpose. Wait a minute, hold on now. The same brother that doesn't know anything about his sister, the same brother that I have another body cam that doesn't know anything about his sister, lives 4 or 5 hours in West Virginia. If the kids look at their uncle, they don't even recognize...
They don't recognize him.
I mean, I have another body cam that then how are you on national television talking about your sister on a dash camera?
It's on the phone.
It's on the phone that she's that Mustafa is telling her friend that Mustafa is crashing the vehicle. They're telling the brother the same thing that is in the autopsy report.
That's what they're telling the medical examiner. That's what they're telling the community.
I mean, listen to what the brother says.
Where do you get off lying, this much? And by the way, let's just say, for example, this is a homicide. You're telling me the police department is not interested in videos from inside the apartment of you allege is a homicide?
I mean, didn't they...
You're not interested in videos from that day inside the apartment?
You went to the Commonwealth attorney office and you wanted to supply her with the Google Nest videos.
Look, fuck the Commonwealth attorney.
She threatened you with the sheriff office.
Fuck the Commonwealth attorney's office. We're talking about the police department.
Police department.
They're not interested in home videos from inside the apartment of that day. They're not interested in it.
Isn't this exculpatory evidence?
But Robert Drum is interested in the speed and the GPS location.
But not the audio.
He's not interested in the audio. He's not interested in home videos. He's not interested in anything that doesn't follow what Sarah Sammy is saying in court. Anything that doesn't align with what Sarah Sammy's narrative is, delete it, block it out. We're going to close our eyes, bury our head in the sand, and pretend like it doesn't exist.
This is what the brother is on day one telling the whole entire community.
My sister was on phone with another one of her friends while this was happening.
Let's listen to that one more time.
I mean, like, seriously, fuck off.
On phone with another one of her friends while this was happening.
My sister was on the phone with one of her friends as this was happening. Where did you get that information, sir?
Well, hold on now.
Where did you get that information?
Let me play a body cam for you where the neighbor, let me play a body cam for you where what he says about Mustafa inside the police department.
Yeah.
Put on your end then.
I mean, as soon as Prince William found out that I was the brother, it pretty much all just
floodgates just opened and
yeah.
Okay.
And then hospital and police and everybody involved just came on my phone.
Do you know anything about the background between your sister and
Divine
and
or Moses?
No, and Moses.
All I know is that she met him at a Wawa. That Wawa that's like right across the street right there.
Up here on the corner?
Yeah.
Route 1 and Cardinal?
Yeah.
Okay.
She met him there. He was living with her. He's not on the lease though. But he's staying there.
Was he staying there like full time?
Yeah.
How does he know?
Listen, he's going to tell you. I don't know.
Everything else I've pretty much learned from the kids.
Anything else I pretty much learned from the kids. You're talking to Investigator Romero, who's actively weaponizing the children, where at the same time he's blocking the dad who's begging him to be next to the kid, and he's blocking Mustafa who's begging him to be next to. Are you fucking kidding me? Let's hear what Tanisha Coleman has to say about the uncle. But he's on national television telling you my sister was on the phone.
This is what I'm gonna do. Miss Kim, what's your last name?
Coleman.
Gomez?
Yes, Coleman.
Oh, Coleman.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm gonna have somebody swing by. We're gonna try and track down next to kin.
They try to call Derek. What's your uncle name? Your mom's brother's name. Derek. I think his name is Derek.
All right. So she's talking about Derek. Listen to this.
Where does he live?
Do you know your uncle? They don't even know their uncle. That's the problem. They don't know nothing. They met him one time and that was it. At their little sister recital or something. They don't even know him. They said if they walk past him today or tomorrow, they probably wouldn't even identify him.
All right, so the kids right now are at 2920 Fox Lair, number 103.
Yes.
So, wait a minute. He doesn't know Mustafa. The kids don't know him. He doesn't know anything about his sister. But he's on national television telling the whole entire community.
And Julie Carey's okay with that.
And Julie Carey's okay with that.
She'll report that.
If I didn't know anything about the case, and I'm watching the brother on national television telling you that Mustafa is crashing the vehicle, that his sister is telling that she's on the phone with her friend, and she's telling her friend that Mustafa is doing this on purpose. And then you watch the dash camera, Dorothy was never on the fucking phone. I wonder where the brother is getting that information. Is it possible the same place where the autopsy medical examiner is getting that information? Oh, from the same investigator who fucking falsified the police reports. Oh, but this document is sealed. The medical examiner is sealed. Jean Maya is so comfortable fabricating the autopsy report because her Commonwealth attorney is going to seal off that document. You and me in this community is not going to find out that this Autopsy report is fabricated. I mean, according to the autopsy report, it's an open and shut case. We don't even have to go to trial. She ruled it a homicide. What happened to an autopsy report that's objective? Now, hold on. When you actually watch the dash camera, Mustafa and Dorothy are passing back a cigarette 6 times. I want to go over the fucking dash camera.
Go ahead.
This is the dash camera that Commonwealth attorney is terrified that this community is going to watch.
They claim she was on the phone.
They claim that she was on the phone. So the medical examiner tell you that despite protests, right? They're protesting, right? That Mustafa is crashing this vehicle on purpose. There we go. All right, do me a favor.
You wanted this document later. I can give it to you.
Which one is this?
His hospital stuff. The hospital where it says concussion, loss of conscious.
Send me that document.
And that they're not allowing him permission to visit the child.
Send me that document.
Let me see. There it is. I'll just send it to you right now. Airdrop?
You can airdrop it.
Go ahead. Where were you going to play the dash cam?
We're going to go over the dash camera.
I mean, it's crazy to think that a medical examiner is going to lie because he was given the green light. That
you know how terrifying it is that a medical examiner is going to sit there fabricate a medical examiner report. You think anything can happen except the medical examiner can do that?
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. This is how far Prince William County has got into ensuring that whatever information comes out of this case, it's got to follow the prosecutor's narrative. I mean, the police are basically working around what the narrative is, okay? And that's why they've sealed off this information from you. They've sealed it from the community. You can't FOIA request Mustafa's documents. You can't FOIA request it. Mustafa can't look at it. The prosecutor has been lying openly in court just to hold him without bond. And now that they've got him in jail, he's not allowed to ask questions, okay? His lawyer is not getting all the information. And it's not until you steal the information from this county that you find out they're fucking around on every level.
I mean, the first thing they tell this community.
I mean, on every level, you would think medical examiner, police officer, internal affairs. And it's not my word against theirs. It's their own documents against what they're saying.
I mean, what did Julie Carey through NBC4 is telling the community? That Mustafa does not have a facial reaction. And she tell you the police say that he does not have a facial reaction. The Commonwealth attorney tells you he does not have a facial reaction. That Mustafa does not have a reaction, and that he did it on purpose.
So why didn't she report? Why didn't she report on Chad Mason?
Why is she not releasing?
Openly saying I violated department policy?
Why is she not releasing this dash camera? I mean, they're making this claim, and then when I sit there and go over to exhibits, this is Mustafa. Moments before the dash camera cuts off before impact, and now you've got an investigator who sits on the stand tell you, I violated department policy. I took the SD card, plugged it into my personal laptop before I gave it and followed the chain of sequence of events where I'm supposed to handle this piece of evidence. Yep, I violated department policy. Is that even a question? He says that in front of Judge Carol Weimer.
Openly.
I have the recording of the proceeding.
He's proud of it. He's almost proud of it.
This dash camera mysteriously cuts off before impact. And what do we see on this dash camera? They tell you he has no reaction. Now, even with the dash camera, you see Mustafa's jaw wide open. Mustafa is sticking his tongue inside his cheek in panic. He's reacting to the vehicle accident.
I mean, you're not an expert.
His shoulders all tensed.
You're not an expert. There was an expert that looked at Mustafa's actions in that day. What did she say? She said Mustafa's actions are consistent with someone trying to avoid an accident. This is an expert. This is a doctor, a psychologist. Okay? Yet the prosecutor wants to come in and say that they were arguing, that Dorothy was on the phone. The medical examiner is going to lie and say that Dorothy was protesting.
Now, I have a body cam where they're inspecting Mustafa's vehicle and they find brake failure.
Brake didn't engage.
Wait a minute. The computer inside the vehicle shows that Mustafa's foot is on the brake the whole entire time, trying to stop the vehicle. They find there's brake failure in Mustafa's vehicle. They find that the motor mount is broken, that when Mustafa is driving 55 miles an hour, which is the speed limit, he slams on the brake, the engine shifts forward, it's a broken motor mount. What is it crushed exactly right in front of, what's right there in front of the engine? It's the ABS module.
And by the way, they never mention that the other driver never hit the brake. She's going over the speed limit, never hit the brake, and after he cleared her, she turned into him. They never mentioned that on any of the reports. They never mention it. It's nowhere in the reports, okay? Other than the data itself. We see the data. It shows she never hit the brake. A Chevy Suburban T-boning his car at, I think it says between 58 and 63 miles per hour. And by the way, you know, Robert Drum wants to tell this community, he wants to tell Mustafa on that phone call that this was a head-on collision, right?
Well, hold on. Why do I haven't want a body cam saying that Mustafa cleared all the way to the fourth lane and the SUV turned into Mustafa?
Let me show you what the witnesses that called in said about this accident. I'm going to send this to you. Go ahead and pull that up. Read that the first comment that came into the police dispatch. What does it say? T-bone. T-bone accident. Robert Drum wants to tell this community, the prosecutor wants to tell the judge that Mustafa drove head-on into the other vehicle.
What do you mean?
What did the witnesses say? What does the witness say that first called the police? It's a T-bone accident. The SUV hit the right backside of his car. She T-boned him. What did Robert Drum say? Robert Drum says she must have turned into him. The only way this accident could make sense is if she turned into him.
Let me pull up the
real question is, why is this information that's on the body cam nowhere in black and white? Why are all these statements nowhere in black and white? It's nowhere to be found. 708 pages of police reports. Nowhere in there does it say, like Robert Drum stated on body cam, that she must have turned into him. That the only way this accident could make sense is if she turned into him. Nowhere in black and white does it say this dash cam didn't capture audio.
I'm going to go over to exhibits. This is Robert Drum on the scene, and he said, Mustafa makes it all the way to the 4th lane, and the SUV turned into Mustafa.
What you thinking, police?
Trying to find where they spun. Because the damage is on the right, which caused them to flip that way. So.
And then it finally broke off with suit.
So that's her.
They're coming in sideways. Yep. Gets popped, rotates.
She just rolls backwards.
And she rolls backwards.
Which way did they? Because she comes straight, she hits.
She would have turned into it.
Then why the fuck do you have? Why are you marking the 3rd lane?
You mean?
Hold on. You're saying that Mustafa cleared into the 4th lane. The SUV turned into Mustafa. But here I have right behind Mason the orange line where you circled Mustafa, the point of impact on the third lane. Oh, no one is supposed to see this body cam. It's sealed by Amy Ashworth, so no one can verify what is actually taking place on the scene. Because you cut the dash camera, Chad Mason cut the dash camera for him, that this dash camera mysteriously cuts off before impact, that we don't have the last moment of the actual accident.
You know, Robert Drum drew this accident, like how it happened. He drew where Mustafa's car was allegedly driving.
That's right.
He drew where the car was driving from. He drew where the impact had occurred. You have that on that the accident report?
If you send it to me,
I'll send it to you. Yeah. I'm interested in the image that he drew. Okay, I'll get it for you.
While you do that, I want to pull up where the firefighter is putting sand absorbent on the 4th lane where the radiator flushed from the SUV that turned into Mustafa.
Let me know when to switch over the camera to the.
Yeah, if you can do me a favor, switch over to exhibits.
Go on. Or you want it on full screen?
No. Put it the other way. I want to go over the dash camera. While you do that,
I'm going to switch back then.
I want to go over the dash camera. The medical examiner wants to tell this community. Well, they're not telling this community because it's a sealed,
they're not telling this community anything.
They want to tell the jury that
this
Dorothy,
was a homicide.
That this is a. He already. I mean, we don't even have to go to trial anymore. And then you open the dash camera, and then you find out.
By the way, the dash cam that the prosecutor was never going to play for the jury.
Oh, yeah. Prosecutor Sarah Sammy wants to, what exactly do with the dash camera?
Conditionally admit.
Conditionally, and for those that don't know what that means, conditionally enter the dash camera into where the jury is.
She wants to play 4 seconds with no audio, and she wants to bring in a lip reader out of Richmond, Virginia, Bruce Safinsky, who's going to tell the jury and this community that Dorothy is saying, I want to get out of the car. Even though at that moment in time, they're sitting in traffic, there's a car ahead of him, there's a car behind him, there's a car to the right, there's a car to the left, and they're sitting in traffic for a full 60 seconds. And if for anybody to say, oh, well, maybe she didn't have any money. No, she had two $50 bills in her back pocket. Okay? There's cars all around him. It's a red light. If she really wanted to get out of the car, you don't think you would see a physical altercation? You don't think she would reach for the door handle? You don't think she would just open the door and scream, help?
Well,
we don't see any of that.
You know what I find terrifying?
Instead, she's passing a cigarette to him. And Bruce Safinsky and Amy Ashworth wants to come into this jury. They want to take a 4-second clip out of context and tell the jury.
In between them passing the cigarette 6 times, they want to
remove the whole dash camera.
I mean,
cut a narrow window.
Like what?
And literally, if you rewind or fast forward, they're passing a cigarette 6 times.
What does this look like? I want to get out of the car. Amar, here's a cigarette. I want to get out of the car. But here's a cigarette.
I mean, why do you think this dash camera is sealed? Why do you think this community is not allowed to see this?
Pen.
Because they're going to call Amy Ashworth on her bullshit.
I want to get out of the car. Oh, here you go, by the way. Smoke the cigarette. I want to get out of the car.
Oh, here you go, by the way. There
Thanks.
you go. Okay.
Does that, I mean, like, if you're going to lie to us, at least make it somewhat believable. Oh, that's right. You've sealed all the information, so we can't verify what you're lying about. Well, unlucky for you, we have the files. We have all the files. And we're going to dissect this case, okay, inch by inch, and we're going to call out your BS. I think the scariest thing in this case is that when you bring these issues to the supposed alleged independent office of professional standards at the police department, they want to tell you that our office is not going to protect any officer. We're going to take your complaint. We're going to fully investigate because we care about this community and what we look like to the community. We are going to hold those accountable. They took an oath to tell the truth, to serve this community, and this supposed independent office at the police department is going to ensure that these officers are following department policy, they're serving this community, and they deserve to hold that badge. That's what that office is supposed to be. Okay? But when you have a corrupt, stinky office that's called the Office of Professional Standards, they don't investigate. They're rotten to the core. They're rotten to the core.
Think about who else are they doing this to in this so-called safe community.
I mean, we're telling, just think about it. We're telling First Sergeant, maybe he's a lieutenant now, Sean Shelton with Internal Affairs. We are telling him to his face, Robert Drum lied.
And he agrees with you. I have the recorded conversation.
He says, how did he lie? We played the 30-minute conversation. He's sitting there with his tape recorder. He's taking notes, and he's agreeing with us. He says, you know what? I agree. You have that recording.
I have it's a 90-minute conversation. I have the whole thing.
He says, I agree with you. What Robert Drum wrote is inaccurate. We have to get to the bottom of why did Drum do what he did? We're an independent office. We care about this community. We care about our image to the community. When you're in trouble, you dial 911. You expect an honest person that swore an oath to protect you. That you are paying, by the way.
And what
you are funding this police department, the community.
And what did they do?
Taxpayer dollars.
He followed up with you. He followed up with you, and he said, I contacted the Commonwealth Attorney.
And notified her.
I notified her of the falsifications. I have the phone call recorded.
And what did they do?
5 days later.
They bury it.
5 days later, Amy Ashworth upgrades the charges to murder. Now it's murder.
What
did Casey Stevens say? Casey Stevens told us. The prosecutor is going to retaliate. The prosecutor is going to protect her cop. And that's exactly what we did. Because in the file, Internal Affairs took the audio, gave it to the same investigator that falsified the police report, only for this investigator to write a supplement report. And conveniently, he's sitting there in his supplement report telling you, I can't hear the audio. How fucking convenient. By the way,
I wonder what Sean Shelton feels about that supplement report. You know, they hide behind this thing about it's administrative. We can't tell you what it is. It's internal. We're going to make sure these officers are following the law.
Well, now I have the internal notes.
You have the internal notes.
And they covered up for
what
Robert
did Sean
Drum.
Shelton exactly cover up? What exactly did he do? He covered up for Robert Drum. What a damn shame.
I want to go back to
What a damn shame. They want to tell you that, trust us. We can't show you this information, but you're going to have to trust us. Okay? He tells you to your face, I agree with you. He lied. But you have to trust that we're doing the right thing behind closed doors. Now, give us your tax dollars and trust that I'm going to do the right thing when you're not looking. And what does he do? We have your supplement report. It's almost like we've undressed you and we see what's behind those pants. And it's shit.
You know, it's terrifying when you find out.
It's shit.
I mean, when you find out what else is going on in this community. These are the same badges and uniforms that you would trust.
By the way,
does every family gets Commonwealth Amy Ashworth sealed documents and leak them all over the internet? Does every person have a family that's going to do that?
Look, if it's going to take...
These are the same individuals that are handling other cases that's supposedly is a safe community.
Look, this county is going to go to shit. If every family member that gets accused of a crime has to have their whole family quit their jobs, quit everything, and begin stealing sealed material,
why do you think
you're going to have a community that's shit?
Why do you think they're pushing back so hard?
They're not. I mean, honestly, I would like to know what Chief of Police and Amy Ashworth think about this case at this point in time. But you're not going to get it because they're hiding.
I mean,
they're
I've
hiding
never
behind
seen.
their.
I mean, come on. I mean, let me be honest with you. I've never seen where you're sitting. I mean, the sheriff office is right there. The sheriff office is right
hiding.
there.
You will
the
never.
county jail is right here, and I'm sitting here in front of the sheriff office, and I'm telling you,
you're a liar.
I willy-nilly access your server. With the help of some individuals, I'm willy-nilly accessing your police department server. And I've got my brother's file. I've got files from other individuals that police engage. And
you're
I'm
calling
not in
her
handcuffs.
a liar. You're calling her a liar.
I'm not in handcuffs?
You're calling her a liar.
Does that make sense to you? What is Chief of Police Newsham so terrified that I can sit here in front of his sheriff department and say that I'm accessing your police department server, and you are so terrified to come after me? What are you terrified from?
They're scared of making a statement.
Of course, because then you're gonna have to answer for the file.
The moment you make a statement about Mustafa, the moment you make you're gonna make a statement about Mustafa, it's gonna have to align with the facts, which is gonna contradict what the prosecutor's been saying. The moment you make a statement about Mustafa's case, you're gonna have to speak the facts, and that's what we're showing here. We're presenting the documents. We're presenting the facts. And we're saying, why is the prosecutor's statements or narrative in court not aligning with the facts? It's not, I mean, this is not an opinion piece. These are facts. I mean, pull up this diagram, okay? And you can ask anybody, okay? You can ask anybody that knows anything about physics, okay? Is it physically possible for a car? Is it physically possible for a car? Okay, you see V1? Is it physically possible for a car that's going 55 miles an hour, that is veering one way, to curve all of a sudden? Is it possible? There is no fucking way.
This is the drawing that Robert Drum put. This is the diagram.
This is what Robert Drum wrote. I mean, look,
the same investigator that falsified Mustafa's statements.
Can you write on this?
It's writing a diagram that physically does not make sense.
Look at this. Look,
I can write on it. We can write.
You're talking about 4,000 pounds.
Here.
Okay.
You can write on it.
You're talking about 4,000 pounds. Okay, veering to the left. Okay, and you're telling me that in the motion of veering to the left,
you can write on it.
I mean, you're telling me in the motion of veering to the left. Okay, this car is veering this way. Okay, it's veering that way. He's avoiding traffic. And all of a sudden, there's a curve. There's a curve right there. You're telling me 4,000 pounds, veering left, all of a sudden decided to turn right and go left again? Where the fuck does that ever happen? I mean, we have the portion of the dash cam that is up to here. We have the portion of the dash cam. Where does it show that he turned right and curved to the left again? And how do you do that in a split second? How do you do that in a split second? You can play the dash cam. He never turns right, but this diagram here is showing that he's going left. Okay, he's going left, and then he curves all of a sudden. Look at this curve line. Look at this curve line. How the fuck does your 4,000-pound vehicle going left turns right and veers again in a curve? It's physically impossible. Are you really a crash investigator, or, I mean, are you saying that Mustafa's a magician? What are you trying to say?
Well, this file is sealed, so he can do whatever he wants.
What are you trying to say Mustafa did in that split second? Okay, because the dash cam is not matching up to it. They want to say Dorothy was on the phone protesting. It's not matching up with the dash cam. That, by the way, Commonwealth attorney have sealed. It's not matching up.
This is
the evidence. What you're saying about this case is not matching up with the facts. Okay? What the medical examiner report is saying, it's not matching up with the facts. What Robert Drum said, it's not matching up with the audio. What's going on here? What's going on? Are we looking at the same video? Are we looking at this? He wants to say right there that Mustafa's vehicle curved to the right. If it curved to the right, don't you think it would have hit that Honda sedan? Don't you think it would have hit that Honda if he curved to the right like Robert Drum is showing?
But on the scene, he says, what exactly? The only way this vehicle accident would happen is Mustafa clear all the vehicle,
she must have
makes
turned
it
into him.
to the fourth lane, and the SUV turned into him.
I mean, I'm fucking done. Like, this is bullshit.
This dash camera cuts off while the outside is still rolling. Obviously, there are 17 frames missing from the camera facing inward. They cut this dash camera.
You know, I wonder why the dash cam would cut before impact.
I mean, we can count it together.
And I wonder why there's no sound. Gee, maybe could it have anything to do with Chad Mason plugging it into his laptop prior to sending it to digital forensics? Could it have anything to do with Robert Drum checking it out of evidence on April 19th prior to sending it to evidence on the 24th of April? I mean, could it have anything to do with Rob Davis saying that they should employ an idea in this case, but it's going to cost them money? Like, what's going on here? I mean, you have officers actively saying they have an idea about this case. By the way, when he just asked them, did you tamper with it? Did you do anything inappropriate to it?
He said yes.
He said yeah. And then he tells them, I have an idea that we should employ in this case, but it's going to cost spending money.
I want to go to the medical examiner says that Dorothy is protesting. Well, before you go, let's cover this really quick. There are the medical examiner tell you that Dorothy is protesting, but then when you open the dash camera, that Commonwealth attorney is sealing from the community. You will literally see Mustafa and Dorothy are passing back and forth a cigarette 6 times moment before this vehicle accident,
But
where now the police department is talking about brake failure.
But Julia Carey wants to tell this community with the brother saying that she was on the phone.
I mean, they're platforming him on all over the news on day one, telling everybody what the medical examiner is saying. They told the brother
she was protesting, she was on the phone, but that's not what we're seeing.
I mean, look, Mustafa and Dorothy are passing back a cigarette.
It's very
interesting.
interesting.
And then you rewind it. I mean, they pass him back and forth a cigarette 6 times. And what is that cigarette exactly? It's hemp. Why is Dorothy smoking hemp? Dorothy has cancer. There is a toxicology report that show that Dorothy and Mustafa, that there's a toxicology report that show no alcohol and no drugs. I mean, you don't have to sit here and take my word for it.
I think this community,
I have the whole file.
This community, I think, has a lot to fear.
This is, when you rewind it, this is Dorothy and Mustafa passing back and forth a cigarette.
I mean, I can tell you right now, this community is fucked. The way we're going, it's fucked.
Who's going to fucking trust this police department? I mean, the police department is sitting there telling you, trust us. If we seal a file, trust us. We're not gonna. We have a police officer that's sworn an oath to this community that's not gonna engage in police misconduct.
What's the point of having policy and procedure if the officers are not gonna follow it?
This is.
And
let's go back.
There's no accountability. There's no accountability.
Is Mustafa and Dorothy passing back and
we want accountability. Okay, when there are laws on the books.
Are you on the exhibits?
We're saying follow the law. Okay, we're not here saying, hey, release everybody. We're saying follow the law. Why does it take 2 brothers coming out to tell a police department, to come up to a prosecutor and say, hey, follow the law. Okay, follow the law. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard for you to follow the law? Why is what you're saying not aligning with the facts? Why not? You swore an oath.
Does it maybe have anything to do with Mustafa suing the police department for over $500,000, and that a fucking Mustafa has to be put back in his place? That when he got in a vehicle accident, they're taking advantage of Mustafa. I mean, what is going on in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case?
By the way, you know, there's something that you said to me earlier today. You said. You told me that somebody was trolling online and they're saying that the only reason they changed the case to murder is because they went through Mustafa's phone. Isn't that what somebody said online?
Specifically,
isn't that what they're trolling online?
The same individual that came around the same time that.
Okay,
the wife,
forget who's saying it. Right? Forget who's saying it. Trolls, right? Isn't that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at a document, okay, that says they had access to Mustafa's phone. Okay, they had his password. Okay. Now, there's a difference between plugging his phone into a program that the police department has that can retract all the internal information, and it comes up in a file like nobody knows what it looks like. Okay, I'm telling you that Robert Drum had Mustafa's phone and his password. Okay, he had Mustafa's phone and his password. Okay, and he went through his phone on April. Let me give you the date exactly. I'm going to give you the date where April 26, 2023. Okay, April 26, 2023. They accessed his phone. They downloaded every piece of information from his phone on April 26, 2023. They ran that program. They extracted every single piece of information you could ever have on your phone on April 26, 2023. So for anyone to say, oh, they changed it to murder because they finally went through his phone. Bullshit. April 26, 2023, I have the document where they extracted everything from his phone and Dorothy's 3 other phones. They went through it. Okay? It's not until you went to the police department, you spoke to Sean Shelton, First Sergeant Sean Shelton, with the Office of Professional Standards, and you told him, I have an audio that your investigator lied. I have an audio that your investigator lied to put my brother in jail. What are you going to do about it? What did he do? He contacted...
Within 5 days.
Within 5 days. He contacted the Commonwealth attorney and told her, hey, this family has evidence that our investigator falsified the warrant. Amy Ashworth, what is your next step? What are you going to do?
Within 5 days.
He says, because look, if we go through it, we're going to pull the warrant. We have to pull the warrant that Robert Drum issued. What are you going to do, Commonwealth, Amy Ashworth? She went and put an indictment on him. She upgraded his charge within 5 days.
What did Casey Stevens tell us?
He said she's going to retaliate.
Do me a favor. Go over to Exhibit. I want to play...
She's going to protect her
I want to play
cop.
a video of the defense attorney, Casey Stevens, telling us that prosecutor is going to protect, is going to retaliate, and is going to protect her cop.
Her lying cop.
Within 5 fucking days of Sean Shelton contacting Amy Ashworth, she raised the charges to murder. Play that. Go over to Exhibits.
I mean, if he was really your attorney, he would have contacted the DOJ. He would have said, okay, I know this prosecutor is going to protect the lying cop. So what am I going to do? I'm going to contact the next step.
What do you mean?
The federal government.
When you find out that in 2016, this defense attorney got in a DUI, fled the scene, crashed the vehicle, fled the scene, and he only got 90 days suspended, and it's the same investigator.
It's Robert Drum that arrested him. Imagine.
Robert Drum. And today, this county is sending us Casey Stevens, who stole our money and is covering up for the police and is threatening you, telling you, hey,
delete all the evidence.
Delete all the evidence.
So you
and just to let you know, the prosecutor is going to retaliate and cover for her police officer.
2016, Casey Stevens is getting drunk, driving his car. He's drunk as shit, driving his car. He crashes into another car, okay? He causes, according to the court documents, he caused over $500 worth of damages, and he fled the scene, okay? Later, Investigator Drum catches him while he's drunk after crashing his car and still driving it. Drum arrests him, okay? And out of that whole case, Casey Stevens gets 90 days suspended. They don't take away his license. That's the only point. I mean, I'd like to know anybody in this community that got a DUI, crashed their car, fled the scene, which is a felony. Hit and run is a felony, okay? Let alone you have DUI, you have all these other charges they could put you on, but they only give them 90 days, no jail time. You want to tell me that's not the county's puppy? Okay, that's not the county's puppy?
Absolutely.
I'd like to know anybody in this community that got a DUI, crashed a car, fled the scene, later was caught, and got no jail time. I'd like to know anybody in this county that got no jail time on a DUI, crashing your car and fleeing the scene. Anybody?
Didn't he tell you
Any
this?
takers? I guarantee you the answer is 0. So what is Casey Stevens going to do when we're telling him, hey, this officer falsified, under oath, falsified information? That's a punishable offense by jail, up to 10 years in jail for perjury. I mean, let alone whatever other charges the federal government wants to put on him. What is Casey Stevens going to do to the officer that let him get away with DUI and hit and run? What is he going to do? You think he's going to snitch on him? Of course not. Of course not. He's going to scratch his back like Robert Drum scratched his back in 2016.
Muhammad, he blocked every effort that we wanted to complain about this investigator that falsified the police report. He's sitting on this video telling us, hey, just to let you know, it's not going to do anything. The prosecutor is going to protect her cop.
By the way,
didn't he tell you to destroy the evidence?
For anybody questioning it, you can look up Casey R. Stevens, Prince William County. You're going to see he got a DUI, hit and run. And if you're very interested, I'm sure you can go to the Commonwealth Attorney or the clerk's office, and you can FOIA request the documents in that case, which I'm going to give you a heads up. It's probably sealed. But you can get Casey Rain Steven, that's his name? Casey Rain Steven. You're going to find this drunken son of a bitch of a lawyer, okay, is in bed with the police, with the prosecutors. And if you ever hire him for your case in Prince William County, he's going to serve you to the prosecutors on a silver platter.
I mean, I wonder why.
He's going to take your money and fuck you.
I wonder why a defense attorney, when you sit here in front of the sheriff office, is not bringing a defamation lawsuit against you. Does it maybe that I have proof to everything that you're talking about?
Exactly, because you're not saying anything that's not public record.
This is a video.
You're not saying anything that's not public record. You have a recording of him right there telling you that the prosecutor is going to protect her lying cop. He was drunk. He crashed his car. He fled the scene. I mean, that's all public record. What is he going to sue you for? That you're putting out his business? Your business is already out there.
The Mustafa stated that I argued with her in the vehicle.
I think we should wrap it up.
I think it's a big deal.
It is big deal.
But for us not to complain and not to bring...
What does a complaint do?
We need the prosecutor to be aware that the report is falsified. Whether intentional or not intentional, this report does not reflect what Mustafa said.
And she's aware of it. Because that's what we argued for.
She's aware of it, and...
That the recording that was made, y'all's recording, is different.
We're going to complain about... I want to complain about the investigator. If he's been doing it for 30 years, and he's 20, a while, okay? If he's gonna do that to Mustafa, how many other people have you done this to and you got away with it?
You know what I find really interesting? I find it really interesting that, like, this is your paid lawyer. You gave that guy $55,000. You gave that guy 55 grand. And that's his response? He's saying, like, what is it going to do? It's almost like he's defending the officer. I mean just
of course,
the tone, the tone alone is to put you down and tell you, listen, man, go back to sleep. This is not going to do anything.
You think this is the only conversation I had with him about going to internal affairs and giving them the evidence that this investigator falsified? This is one video. He took our money, blocked every effort of us going after this investigator about falsifying the most crucial piece of evidence. The foundation of this whole entire case is falsified, and this is the response that we get out of Casey Stevens.
And he tells you, I'm going to play it during the bond hearing.
And then he never does.
And he never does. So, you know, and then you find out he's donating to the Commonwealth Attorney. Out of your own money, out of your money that you paid him, you're telling him this Commonwealth Attorney, look, he's telling you the Commonwealth Attorney is going to protect her lying cop, and then he turns around and writes a $4,700 check to that Commonwealth Attorney that he just told you is going to protect her lying cop against his client. What the fuck? You know, it sounds like a comedy or a drama.
I think when you can 2.5 years dealing into it, where we sit in front of the sheriff office, we're willy-nilly entering their server, getting all the evidence, and then you're so numb to the pain that you're actually get here.
Look,
you're having a hard time processing that your only response is to psychotically fucking laugh.
If you didn't have a recording of it, people will tell you, come on, man, like, tell me, like, stop pulling my leg, okay? Tell me something I can believe. The problem here for them is you have the recording of it. He's literally telling you, what is that going to do? What is a recording of the officer falsifying a warrant going to do? I mean, that's your lawyer. Like, the first thing he should have done is, honestly, if I was this lawyer, I would have filed a motion immediately. I would have filed a motion and put it on the record that this officer falsified a warrant. My client should not be in jail.
By the way, he had the toxicology report while Mustafa was charged with a DUI, manslaughter, and this defense attorney is looking at a toxicology report that shows no alcohol, no drugs. Then why the hell was Mustafa charged with a DUI, manslaughter from April all the way to October, and she only upgrades it to murder when exactly? When we give them the audio and Internal Affairs start probing into this case.
And by the way, so with all this information, why is he asking for a continuance continually? Why did Casey Stevens keep asking for a continuance? I don't understand. What is the holdup? You have all this information. What's the holdup? What's the holdup? I mean, you didn't allow the independent expert to examine the car.
Well,
as a lawyer,
on body cam, they blocked him from.
As a lawyer, you have a judge order. You have a judge order to have this vehicle inspected by your expert, and you didn't say anything when the prosecutor and Drum said you're not inspecting it. The lawyer just stood there. But why are you asking for a continuance then if you're not, if your intentions was never to have this car inspected? If your intentions was never to defend this client, why did you continuously take this family's money?
So
because you're an asshole.
I wish it was just an asshole. No, to have you back against a corner.
You're a fraud.
Because they want you depleted out of money, backed against a corner, where at the end of the day, they give you a public defender who's tired, who's overwhelmed, who maybe is not going to look at the material fact of this case.
I mean,
impossible. I mean,
I'm just trying to find out. He took out of the $50,000, the $55,000. He took like $40-some thousand. Okay, and justified it to the bar association. He took $40-some thousand for what? For doing an hour bond hearing, and he showed up on another day to ask for a continuance that took him like 5 minutes. He took almost $40,000 for one bond hearing. One bond hearing.
We're going to continue to be here. We're going to continue. I want to finish
for any other lawyer that knows Casey Stevens,
be careful.
I mean, watch out.
Be careful.
He might just
if you're in this
crash into your car and flee the scene, and then take your money and give it to Amy Ashford.
Be careful.
Really, be careful in Prince William County.
I mean, if this wasn't on video,
obviously police don't follow rules here.
You can so easily dismiss this conversation.
It's really up to I know you say like not every cop is a bad cop, not every CO is a bad correctional officer. Okay, but I'll tell you this. Be careful out of the leadership of Prince William County. I'm not saying officers. I say I think there are a lot of good officers, but I can tell you with 100% that the leadership at the police department of Prince William County, they're rotten to the core. The Commonwealth Attorney's Office, they are rotten to the core. It's really up to the lower prosecutors to ensure that they set the standard, because leadership is not doing it. I can tell you that much. Leadership out of Prince William County Police, they're definitely not doing it. So if you are a good person and you're an officer of Prince William County, keep doing what you're doing, because you are setting the standard, not your leadership. Okay? DC celebrated when they got rid of Peter Newsham. Okay? And then Prince William County cried when he was hired. So that should tell you everything you need to know. Leadership in Prince William County, they're not doing it.
Well, we're optimistic.
There is none.
DC just got federalized, and we hope.
The leadership is going to have to come out of the new recruits. It's going to have to come out of the officers that are below Internal Affairs.
DC
below the chief of police's office.
DC just got federalized, and we're hoping that this pours into our county and our police department out of Prince William County here in Virginia. Federalized.
The best thing that could ever happen to Prince William County is probably getting rid of the leadership at the police department.
The minute you federalize this police department, Chief of Police Peter Newsham is going in handcuffs. I have his files, and he's protecting police officers that engage in police misconduct. And by the way,
lying and tampering with evidence.
Police misconduct is a very kind word. When you watch these body cams that's leaking,
you're talking about actively tampering with evidence, actively manipulating witnesses, actively deleting evidence. Okay, I mean, what is more to say? There's really nothing more to say.
I want to finish the video where he tells you the prosecutor is going to protect her cop.
As far as I know, she says she heard the recording. Well, if the investigator is not doing, if the prosecutor is not doing anything about it, and no one is doing anything about it, I want to file a formal complaint.
Oh, you can finish off the podcast with that.
What do you think? I don't believe it's helpful. It's not helpful to Mustafa.
Why?
Because in my experience, it will embolden the prosecutors to support their officer and try to turn this into, well, we just made a mistake. That's all.
Okay, that's okay. Okay.
Based on the report, they see the warrant something.
And on that note, I want to thank everybody for being here.
What time did you go to bed the night before?
I want to thank everybody for being here. It is 3:38 in the morning. We're in front of the county jail. The sheriff office is right there. Thank you for being part of this conversation. This is not another boring podcast. I want to specifically thank Bustos, Missy, Casey. I love you, man. Thank you for being in the box on TikTok and broadcasting our YouTube channel on TikTok so we can get this message out to the community. I want to specifically thank East. I love you, ma'am. I want to thank Augie. I want to thank Mary Jo. I want to thank Farah, Dre, Shelly. I love you, ma'am. Who am I missing here? Am I missing anybody? I think I'm missing a lot of people. Char, I miss you. I love you. Stefano. Who else? Augie, thank you for putting the amount of work that you're putting into this case. We're lucky to have you. Look at what's going on here. This girl has a criminal justice background, and the way she makes documentary is fucking beautiful. I want to end this podcast with a documentary that where she sheds light on the computer inside the vehicle and the material facts of this case. Numbers do not lie. And the numbers in the Mustafa Al-Jazari case that's coming out of the computer and inside his vehicle show this is a vehicle accident. That Mustafa did everything he can to avoid a vehicle accident. On that note, we're going to end with that video. Thank you for being here. This is not another boring podcast. Mustafa through the police body cams. Judge Carol Weimer, you're under the microscope. Is Mustafa okay right now?
Yeah, no, he's not all right.
There are new questions being raised in the case of a man charged with for a crash killed his girlfriend and her 5-year-old daughter last year.
This is public area.
Come after Prince William's police chief ruled the investigating officer had violated department policy.
I'm not resisting. I am not resisting.
The investigation revealed that Master Police Officer Drum violated department policy.
Right rear tire, brake didn't engage.
We were able to access evidence.com. Chief of Police Peter Newsham, are you terrified to come after me? Are you terrified to put me in handcuffs? I'm telling you, I have all your files. The minute you come after me, you have to answer for the files that I have. Files from Mustafa Al-Jazari, where every police report is falsified. I have the body cams where it shows police officer engage in falsifying police misconduct.